Wave Therapy, a pain-free, drug-free way to break up blockages and get you back in the game. No pills, no painful injections, and it only takes about 20 minutes. Score real help for your ED issues from Arise Urology Clinic for Men in Cary. Call 919-459-5400 or visit corewavetherapy.com.
Truist. When you work with someone who knows a lot and cares even more, you're unstoppable. So start feeling like it today. Visit truist.com/care. Truist. Leaders in banking, unwavering in care. Truist Bank. Member FDIC.
It's Window Nation's semi-annual sale, and it's a big deal. Right now, get 50% off all windows, along with no interest for 5 years. Plus, bonus savings when you schedule a consult today. If your windows leak, get foggy or hot, or you're paying high utility bills, that's a big deal. With Window Nation's semi-annual sale, you can replace your windows and save a big deal, too. Schedule a no-obligation in-home estimate. Call 866-90-NATION or visit windownation.com.
So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up and spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
This hour of buzzer-beating, nail-biting, edge-of-your-seat sports action on 99.9 The Fan is powered by
Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
Visit GotBryan.com.
That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. This is a WRAL weather alert day. We have a level 1 and 2 risk for severe storms across the area. So just be weather aware. Download that WRAL app and set the alerts to let you know when we have severe storms coming through. We could see isolated tornadoes or wind damage late this afternoon and this evening. See a high today of 79. Skies begin to clear tonight. We'll see a low of 60. And then for tomorrow, a nice day. High of 80 degrees under partly cloudy skies.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 3 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is up 276 points to 39,834. Market update brought to you by The Good Feet Store. Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to The Good Feet Store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities. The Body Armor State Games are coming this June to Charlotte, North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
Stahl works his way into the back and he scores! The captain! Courageous in front, and he ties it at 1. Now Nason, he'll drop this back for Kotkaniemi. Drive out in front, rebound, Kuznetsov scores! Well, the bird flew north. We'll give it away to Natchez out in front. Martinook scores! Natchez to Martinook, and it's an offensive explosion in the third period. Carolina's going to get to it, sweep at the length of the ice. Bingo!
The Drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan.
99.9 The Fan. I'm Tim Donnelly, Dennis Cox producing the show. We're still waiting for the Canes, by the way. The extra day off. It feels like they should be playing tonight. They're not. I get it. But guess who else it's a long wait for? The Rangers.
Oh, those guys? Them?
That's a long time to think about the biggest amount of pressure they've been under in a very, very long time. To stew in their own thoughts, the what-ifs creeping into their brain, the travel down to Raleigh. The Rangers haven't faced this kind of pressure yet this season, and I think it's a fair question to ask. Can the Rangers handle pressure? It hasn't been proven yet. You may say they're good. I would not deny it. You may say they're talented. I'll agree with you.
Yeah.
Can they handle pressure? Remains to be seen. The jury's still out. I went and looked at some of the Rangers' season today. Did a little deep dive. The Rangers took over sole possession of first place in the Metropolitan Division on October 28th. Never relinquished it. From October 28th till the end of the year, even though there were a few times it felt like the Canes were close or somebody knocking on the door, the Rangers took over sole possession at the top of the division and did not relinquish it beginning October 28th. You may say, well, what point they had won 6 of their first 8 games to break a tie with Carolina to take the points lead away from the Canes, and they held that points lead in the division for the rest of the season. They won the President's Trophy. They won their first 7 playoff games consecutively. A sweep followed by winning the first 3 games of the second round. You may be sitting there saying, sounds like you're just reading a pretty positive resume of the New York Rangers.
That's pretty easy to do.
That's one of them. Yes, that's exactly what I'm doing. But it's also to point out that they then lost their last 2, including a third period that was, you just heard the highlights from, all Canes in Game 5. I don't know if we've seen them battle back from adversity. We've seen the Canes battle back from adversity. They had legitimately bad stretches. They had points in the season where it felt like they had to, not only they felt like they had to, they did have players-only meetings to get together and talk about how things were going off the rails. They had their starting goalie miss 4 months in the middle of the season. I don't know how the Rangers deal with pressure, which is interesting because now they're facing a lot of it in Raleigh. If you don't win, it's a Game 7. All of it is the weight of a collapse potentially being on your shoulders. There's a lot going on right now.
Carolina's facing the pressure of 2 straight elimination games and coming out with wins. That's pressure in and of itself, including on the road.
Carolina has a ton of pressure on them, but we've seen them react already to pressure. Peter Laviolette, the coach of the Rangers, on the difference in closeout games.
They're all hard. The fourth one's hard because I think the more your back gets up against the wall as an opponent, the better, the more your game is, the better your game is, the more intense it is. And so, putting teams away is I think something that you know that's going to be a good battle. It's going to be a good grind because they're playing for their lives. And that's just, I think, the nature of human beings at some point, right? You're fighting for your life and you're really digging in. And so in order to get to that point for the 4th win, you really got to make sure that your game is on point as well.
I think it's interesting you bring up like human beings, right? Almost like you wanted to go down to the instincts, the biology of it. Well, when you're faced with a challenge and your instincts and your biology, what's the saying? It's not everybody bows their neck and fights back. That's not what happens. There's 2 options, right? Fight or flight. What we've seen over the last 2 games is we know what side of that the Hurricanes fall on. Back against the wall, fight or flight, they're going to fight. We don't know what the Rangers do yet. Jacob Trouba talked to the media earlier today. This is what he had to say about what it's going to take to win Game 6.
Just play our game. I don't think we want to get into too much of playing a certain way. I think there's an identity that we have that's fast, it's physical, it's a little bit of tenaciousness. I think that's when we're at our best, and you don't want to try to, change your game to a position that you're in. You want to play the same game that you've built and you trust in and believe in, and I think that we know in this room what that game is, and that's the game we want to play.
We all knew that kid growing up, right? Kid that made every team. Maybe was at tryouts, but coach was saying, do you need a rest? You don't have to go out there for tryouts. If you just want to, I know basketball season just got over and baseball's just starting to take a rest. So it's tryouts. No, you made the team. Got straight A's.
Yeah.
Teacher's best friend, but also sat in the back and cracked jokes. It's like, how did this happen? Was the lead in every school play. But it did feel like once they hit the real world, they're going to get smacked in the face a little bit here, right? Once the first time they don't get their first job or the first time their boss says, I need those TPS reports by this morning and it's this afternoon, that they were going to crumble a little bit. Could that be the Rangers? Straight A's in the regular season. Lead in the school play in the first round. Made every team for 3 games in the second round.
Everyone loves you.
Oh, everybody. Prom king.
Yeah, exactly. Homecoming king, too.
All of it. Had to be the everybody's favorite, right? The never got in trouble, not because they didn't do anything wrong, but because the teachers would just look at him and go, oh, it's just you being you.
It's fine.
Make them laugh. A charmer.
Yeah, there you go.
And then once it became the time where it's like, no, actually, you have to perform. Like, it became the real world, right? Like, rent is due. You got to pay for groceries, insurance. Do you have insurance on your car? Like, when all that happened, all of a sudden, they weren't as cool anymore. Didn't even show up to the 10-year reunion. We all knew that kid growing up. Could that be the Rangers? And the Canes over the last 2 games just gave them their very first test of adversity, their very first bit of obstacle that they had to overcome. Could that be? I'll tell you what, as a Canes fan, I hope that's the case. Right? Because we'll even leave the analogy in the past. We've seen athletic teams, sports teams, where when everything's going well, they're hunky-dory. First sign of loss, all of a sudden there's blaming, there's finger-pointing, there's why didn't you do that? Why didn't you do that? You don't know what's going on behind those scenes, behind closed doors. We know what the Canes do when they face adversity because we've seen it. They bow their neck and they fight back. You don't win those last 2 games if that's not what you're built out of. We don't know if that's the case with the Rangers. And the Rangers now, as they deal with that, might be facing an even more desperate Carolina Hurricanes team, at least if you listen to Jordan Martinook here.
Yeah, I think they're trying to close it out, and we're fighting for our lives. So it's 2 teams that are we're trying to win a hockey game, but we need to bring what we brought last game and bring even a little more. So we can try and make the single 7.
Even more desperate. I don't know. The Canes seem pretty desperate in that third period. Even more?
Mm-hmm.
Is there another level? A whole nother level.
Take it there.
I'm excited to see. And we have a whole day to wait because that's actually tomorrow.
And we'll be at PNC tomorrow.
We will be.
We will be at PNC tomorrow.
We will be. The weather is supposed to be much better than the last home game for the Canes, so we will be at PNC. Starting at 3 o'clock for the show. Stop out, say hi. We'll have a barcode you can scan to potentially to qualify, to enter to win a signed Canes jersey signed by a whole bunch of the big-name Canes you like, as well as Rod Brindamore. So go ahead and stop out and say hi. Hang with us. Put your first goal scorer prediction in. Right now, I'm Tim Donnelly for DraftKings Sportsbook. The chase for the cup is on. It's still going on. And if you're looking to light the lamp, nothing beats the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, one of America's top-rated sportsbook apps. DraftKings has you covered with same-game parlays, live betting, odds boosts, and so much more. This week, all North Carolina customers can place a pregame moneyline bet on Carolina, and if they lead by at least 2 goals at any time in the game, you win, even if they end up losing the game. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. New customers, I'm talking to you. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TIMD at sign-up. That's TIMD with no spaces. And new customers that sign up with that code, TIMD, and bet $5 will instantly get $200 in bonus bets. That's code TIMD, TIMD with no spaces, only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus. North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. 1 early win per opted-in customer. Max bet limits applied. Token expires at the start of the game. See dkng.co/ice for wagering eligibility and terms. We're going to take a break. When we come back, the NFL schedule comes out tonight, but the leaks are in full effect. We know a lot of games that are going to be played when, where, and everything else coming up next.
Golf's second major will be found on 99.9 The Fan. Listen all week long as we cover the PGA Championship in Louisville, Kentucky.
And Brooks Koepka wins the PGA Championship.
Find out if Brooks Koepka can go back-to-back or if a new champion emerges. Depend on us for constant leaderboard updates, Coverage of the PGA Championship on 99.9 The Fan is teed up by Wilson Country Club, the premier private club of Eastern North Carolina.
Oh, this North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club espresso is strong.
Pace yourself. New winners tend to overdo it on the coffee. And with new scratch-offs out, well...
Hey guys, I'm a new winner. My name's Steve. What's your name? I really love this coffee. Wow, this place is great. Glad I grabbed a new scratch-off. Okay, nice to meet you. Gonna get a massage. Ooh, I think I need to relax.
Told you.
This month's tickets pack $135 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.41 to 4.25. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
The Triangle is going to be hopping this summer with great soccer. June 5th through the 10th is TST, a 7-on-7 men's and women's tournament at Wake Med Soccer Complex featuring 118 matches. Then July 23rd, International Giants, Manchester City, and Celtic face off at UNC. Save 10% off tickets by going to fcseries.com/Carolina. Use promo code TRIANGLE. That's fcseries.com/Carolina. Promo code TRIANGLE for 10% off.
It is not often in this life that you can save both time and money and make your life better in the process. So here's how I'm going to save you time and money. We're getting rid of contact lenses, getting rid of glasses, getting rid of everything that goes along with them. Money, those things all cost a lot of money. And here's how we're going to do it. We're going to go to Dr. Lori Travers LASIK, and we're going to let her work her magic on us as she did on me. 5 minutes per eye, totally painless, back to work the next day. And here's the best part. We're going to give you $1,000 off. Go right now. Travers LASIK, Dr. Lori Travers, the only LASIK specialist in the Triangle. And by the way, 0% financing for 24 months is available. 919-510-6830. Make the call now. And on top of that, we can save $1,000 right now. All you got to do, go to TraversLASIK.com. The consultation is free. TraversLASIK.com. 919-510-6830 for Travers LASIK.
eBay Motors is here for the ride. Go ahead, feel your engine. Admire that perfectly installed exhaust. Your vehicle's moving along this freeway like it was made from fresh installs and a whole lot of love. With eBay Motors, you get over 122 million parts to keep it running. And with eBay Guaranteed Fit, they'll be the perfect fit every time. Plus, at these prices, well, we're burning rubber, not cash. Keep your ride or die alive at ebaymotors.com. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Get ready. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale is coming to the State Fairgrounds May 17th through the 19th. The Car Scott building will be filled to the max with boats ready for immediate delivery featuring Suzuki outboards, shop center console, runabouts, deck boats, bass boats, pontoons, aluminum boats, and more, all under one roof. Boat Show only savings, discounts up to $8,000, factory rebates, and special financing on site. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale May 17th through 19th at the Car Scott building on the State Fairgrounds featuring Suzuki outboards, free admission and parking.
Hey, it's Roger Moore, CEO of Loan Pronto. If you're like me, you're getting crushed by rising costs of everything these days. I get it. It's brutal, and credit card rates are ridiculous and going higher. That's why at Loan Pronto, we launched our Express Equity Line of Credit to bring you the relief you and your family need, using your home, your most valuable asset. We've helped thousands of people like you get fast relief with cash. The average homeowner who does this gets tens of thousands in just days and is able to save $850 per month in overall expenses. I'm talking life-changing money. Your money that you have access to right now. Listen, if you're ready to get control of your finances and get off the hamster wheel, call Loan Pronto. You can get approved for Express Equity Line of Credit in just minutes, and we can get your cash in less than a week. Stop digging a deeper credit card hole today. Call Loan Pronto now. 919-381-1760. 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. 919-381-1760.
Equal housing lender. NMLS 166-1781. Subject to lender approval. NMLS consumeraccess.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. The NFL schedule reveal is scheduled for tonight. So color me confused that the basically entire schedules are being leaked today.
Yeah.
We're seeing, I mean, you can piece it together, right? One team will have their whole schedule leaked, and you'll see your team on there, and you go, all right, so we're playing them week 13. Then there's an international game scheduled. All right, that's going on this week. Then there's this game, that game, this game, the other. But the Panthers have not released their schedule. Dennis, how many are we up to knowing right now?
I think we're up to knowing about 9 right now. Maybe even
9.
10, actually.
10 if you count knowing it when we don't have a destination. Could be home or away.
Yeah.
Go ahead for the people. Give them the breakdown.
All right, so the Saints schedule has been released, and right now the Carolina Panthers are on the road at the New Orleans Saints week 1, and they'll host the Saints once again in week 9. Week 2, apparently they're at home against the Arizona Cardinals. Week 3 at the Vegas Raiders. Week 8 at Denver. Also thrown in there week 5 at Chicago, facing the team that had their number 1 overall pick. Also, like I said, at Denver, week 8. Week 10, we know they're going to Germany to play the Giants week 10. The NFL stated that themselves. We're assuming the next week, week 11, is their bye week because you're traveling back from Europe.
From Munich.
And then the Tampa Bay Bucs schedule is completely out there as well. So week 13 at home against Tampa, week 17 at Tampa Bay. Because you play a divisional game week 18 to end the season, well, you've already played the Saints twice. You played the Buccaneers twice, which means you're going to play Atlanta in week 18, home or away, don't know yet. Also, looks like they're going to be at Philadelphia week 14. So that's over half the schedule right there already. Like, why have a premiere tonight if you're going to already have half the schedule out there?
It's a bit like a Sudoku almost, where you're like, all right, we know that the division is filled in this box, so we have to get another one over here.
Exactly. Like, I know this line already has a 7, so therefore can't be in this.
This line has a home game, so we have to have the away game on the other side. It's like you're piecing it all together. Obviously, we'll know it all we'll know it all tomorrow, and we'll be able to really break down like the tough stretches and when you know what it's going to be like for the new coach, and will he be eased into the season, or will he be thrown straight into the deep end and everything else. I want to focus in on that Germany game, though. We've known they're going to play in Germany for a while, but Giants versus Panthers, November 10th, Munich, Germany, in something called the Allianz Arena.
Okay.
I wouldn't be surprised if we get really, really used to the Panthers going to Germany. They're, by the way, officially part of like the 2024 plan to globalize the sport of American football, which is growing every year, and it's obviously a priority, and they want other countries to see how awesome it is. One of the like manifest destiny. Take over soccer stadiums and play American football in them and call it our right. I wouldn't be surprised if David Tepper is trying to set up the Panthers as the NFL's Germany team. And I'm not talking about moving them to Germany.
Oh, no.
Kind of like what Jacksonville and London are doing, which is every year they go there, usually multiple times a year. They have a fan base there. They sell gear there. They make money there. And here's the best part for David Tepper. You don't even have to be that good. You're the only game in town.
Yeah.
If you're there every year, just familiarity will make you a fan favorite, and people will start rooting for you and buying your gear. You can be the Wrexham of Germany.
Oh, there you go.
Right? You can be the team that Americans care about in a sport that Americans don't care about. You can only flip it, right? Germany doesn't care about American football, but they might care about the Panthers, and they won't even know how good you are or are not. Becoming the Germany American football team is an opportunity to make some money at the expense of your fans in Carolina, who will just get one less home game per year. That sounds very much like a David Tepper thing to do, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Open up the Bank of America for another concert midseason. Open up the stadium midseason. Take a home game every year and put it in Munich or Berlin or Hamburg or somewhere else in Germany. Other places that exist. Sell a bunch of gear to soccer fans, call it a day, make a bunch of money without having to win any games.
Heck, bring Charlotte FC out there for a game.
Why not?
Yeah, play some like tier 4, German soccer club.
I actually do like that as an idea.
Yeah.
If Tepper does that for this year, I'm fine with it. But moving forward, I don't want every. That's good. You should pass that along to somebody. I don't want them and I don't want them being to Germany what Jacksonville is to London. And I have just a creeping suspicion that David Tepper is going to see this game. He's going to see the response in Germany. They're going to fill a stadium, and his light bulbs are going to go off and go, we aren't even any good, and we did this. We don't have to be good, and we can have Germany money. I'm a little nervous about that. Other than that, we're going to get the Chiefs at home in Carolina.
You're going to get the Chiefs at home. You're going to get the L.A. Chargers are going to be at home. Dallas Cowboys are going to be at home again.
So once the
Commanders.
Yeah, how about this? How about this, everybody? Panthers.
There's a lot of really good home games.
Panther fans. I'm speaking to Panther fans right now. If you are, a fan of one of those teams we just mentioned, just earmuffs for about 30 seconds. For the big games, buy tickets. I don't want it to be Kansas City in Charlotte. I don't want it to be Dallas in Charlotte.
Again?
Buy tickets. And we're going to get the schedules coming out tomorrow or tonight. You'll know it by tomorrow. That's plenty of time to plan your weekend. It's plenty of time to make sure that your cousin doesn't have a wedding that weekend or something. Go ahead and buy tickets. It's a new coach. It's a new regime. They're bringing new energy. Give them a shot to build that when they're not in a stadium full of the other team's fans.
You think Taylor Swift will be there when the Chiefs are in town?
Probably not.
You don't think so?
I feel like does she actually? No, she does go to away games.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it seems like she only goes to Kansas City games.
All the Swifties. Golly, I want to set up outside Bank of America and just sell Taylor Swift stuff.
I was just going to say, that could
make
be
a fortune.
Buy tickets now. That could be a money-making opportunity.
Exactly.
Flip that to a Swiftie.
Oh, gosh. You didn't see her in concert, but you could be in the same stadium that she is.
Did you know for a while I was seen as a Taylor Swift superfan unintentionally?
Oh, really?
My brother was getting tickets to see Taylor Swift for his wife, so my sister-in-law.
Okay.
And it was one of those deals where like you had to log on quickly and see if you got the tickets or not because they were going to sell out in 15 seconds and there was a waiting list. So he asked me if he could use my email address so he could have more shots at it. He had like his iPad and his phone and his computer. I was like, yeah, go ahead. So he ended up getting the tickets on my account.
Nice.
And then a couple weeks later, I got an email that said like, they're adding more shows, and as a super fan, you have the opportunity to buy them. And I offered them to my sister-in-law, and she was like, no, I've got the friends going or whatever. Told this story later on. People looked at me like I had 12 heads because they're like, you didn't buy the tickets? I was like, no, I didn't need them. I didn't know anyone that wanted to go in that town. They were like, you buy the tickets, you wait a week, you sell them for twice as much. Once the Taylor Swift fans realize they don't get in, I was like, well, maybe a missed opportunity. But still, buy the Panthers tickets is what I'm saying. Buy the Panthers tickets. Don't let Chiefs fans have them. Swifties, as long as they're Carolina Panther fan Swifties, I'm fine with that. But Panther fans, buy the tickets. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. When we come back, Brett Pesce was on the ice skating today at practice. Does that shake things up for the Canes going into Game 6? Stick around.
Where can you find a place that not only offers amazing food, but also a super unique and fun atmosphere? Hey, it's Victoria Bodenecker here to tell you that place is Norse Brewing Company in Wake Forest. There's also Norse Brewing Longhouse in Zebulon, but both locations offer a mouth-watering menu with a Scandinavian twist. They also make all of their adult beverages in-house. Plus, speaking of the aesthetic, you will completely embrace your inner Viking when you go here. Don't just take my word for it, though. Please go check them out for yourself. Find out more information at norsebrewingco.com.
It's time for the Coastal Scholar Athlete of the Month.
This is Creighton Blackwell from Coastal Credit Union. This month, we're at Fuquay Arena High School with our newest Scholar Athlete of the Month, Kenzie Smith.
How long have you been playing softball?
About 9 years. I've played since I was like 10 or something like that. My sister brought me into the sport. If it wasn't for her, I wouldn't be here.
What does it mean to you to be recognized for your work as a student athlete?
It means a lot. Like, I'm glad I'm able to represent the school and the team of what the meaning of the bingle means. Bingle ball is like always something the old coach here, Coach Clark, would say. It's always like, give it everything you got. Whether you're in school, whether it's in life, you just gotta give it everything you got, and I'm glad I was able to represent that.
She's always encouraging. If she's not leading by telling people, she's leading people by example.
She's a quiet leader. Like, she's not necessarily the loudest one. She's not always the one that's going to be barking orders and things like that, but she leads by example in a quiet way.
She had a walk-off hit out here in a huge game, so we found it fitting that for her to have that night.
Kind of brought the team up and then encouraged us to keep fighting for next games that we would have.
But that night was pretty special.
Congratulations, Kinsey.
For 20 years, 99.9 The Fan and Coastal Credit Union have been recognizing scholar athletes at Triangle area schools. If you'd like to nominate a high school athlete, head to WRALSportsFan.com, keyword award.
Electricity flows through everything. Our movement, our passion, our drive. Ford connected the performance of a sports car with the thrill of an EV to create a pony tuned for exhilaration, engineered to give you an extra jolt of adrenaline. Feel something electric. The 2024 Mustang Mach-E SUV. Test drive one today at your Carolina Ford dealer. Available at Ford EV certified dealers only.
QC Kinetics provided amazing pain relief for a former professional baseball player, and you have access to the same life-changing treatments as retired Braves pitcher Jose Alvarez.
I put a lot of stress and strain and work on my right arm, but my right elbow took most of the damage with 3 surgeries.
Arthritis developed, and the pain was unbearable.
It wasn't just pain when I was trying to play sports. It was anytime I was moving the right elbow. It was pretty excruciating at times.
That's when Jose discovered QC Kinetics and the regenerative treatments that help the body heal itself, restoring damaged tissue and providing relief with no surgery or downtime. Jose's message to the medical professionals at QC Kinetics?
My elbow is feeling outstanding. Where were you 10 years ago, for crying out loud?
QC Kinetics is right here. Call for your complimentary consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 919-400-5473. That's 919-400-5473. QC Kinetics, 919-400-5473.
Febreze. So my home is also my office. And before I can focus, every room's gotta be clean. That means tidying up, then spraying my Febreze Air Mist. Ooh, that's fresh. Febreze Air Mist scents are all high quality. They fight any weird funk, and they give my air an instant boost of freshness. So not only does my home smell good, I feel good too. After I Febreze, it's time to start my day.
Breathe happy, Febreze, la 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 la.
Hey, Tim Donnelly here. As you know, so much of what makes us a family takes place in our homes. These walls provide an intimate space for all of the small moments that bring us together as a family, the bonds that grow stronger year after year. And like any other relationship, your home requires the same love and attention. That's why I brought in Zero Res to clean the carpets in my house from all of the dust, dander my dog drags in, all of the crumbs my 3-year-old makes, and me too when I'm watching games. That is why you should trust in the power of Zero Res to care for your home. ZR water is tough on stains and dirt while still safe for you and your family and pets. Don't forget about your air ducts as well. This is the perfect time with allergy season, furnace and AC, efficiency, post-winter, and more. Just check out the 3,800 raving customer reviews online with a 4.8 Google rating. Visit ZeroResRaleigh.com to get 3 rooms of carpet Zero Resified starting at just $105 and take $100 off your air duct cleaning. Make sure to mention me, Tim from 99.9 The Fan. Zero Res, spell it backward or forward, it spells the same, Zero Res.
The Body Armor State Games are in Charlotte this June, North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Brett Pesce was on the ice today. I wasn't expecting that. For those of you that have been paying attention, Brett Pesce's been out the past few weeks with a lower body injury.
Yes. I think it was game 2 against the Islanders is when he got hurt.
We know all the detail we're going to get from the NHL. I'm surprised we know it's a lower body injury. But he's been out for a while, and at the beginning of this series, it felt like the Canes very, very, very dramatically missed him. It felt like Brady Shea, his running mate, was not exactly being utilized correctly. D'Angelo has his strengths, the guy that stepped in for Pesce, but they're very different than Brett Pesce. The penalty kill earlier on in the series, it was like, goodness gracious, they could use a Brett Pesce right now. But then a funny thing happened. Funny thing was 2 wins for the Canes. The penalty kill played lights out last game. D'Angelo started doing a few things well and bringing maybe a little bit of sandpaper to the team. And now Pesce's back skating. And to be clear here, it wasn't like off to the side. It wasn't in a non-contact jersey. He was just skating in practice. Now, he wasn't with, when the pairing skated, he wasn't with Shea. He was with Coughlin as kind of the extra pair. But he skated, and that's a development, and it's one we have to talk about. And for more on that, here's an interaction Rod Brindamore, the head coach, had with the media earlier today.
Yeah, it was good to see him out there first time. I don't think status has changed.
Is that a change you can make this late in a series, even if he said, I'm ready to go?
Yeah, definitely. If you could. I'm not sure you would, but you definitely could.
What a way to put that. Here's the thing. We know in the postseason Rod Brindamore is extremely leery of playing anyone before they practice, right? No one's going to go from lack of a better term, ice cold after an extended period off due to injury right into a game. So Pesce playing in practice at least makes it possible, right? It at least makes it a conversation. And definitely you could. I'm not sure you would, but you definitely could. Is a wishy-washy as an answer as I've ever heard in my life.
For sure.
Could, would, man. He went full like woodchuck. How much wood would a woodchuck chuck if a woodchuck could chuck wood? How much Pesce would Brindamore play if a Pesce could play for a Brindamore?
Well done.
Thank you. It's an interesting question. And maybe even beyond tomorrow's game, right? Because if you say he's skating today, but, you don't want to do it, you don't want to. What about if there's a game 7? Brett Pesce, because make no mistake about it, Brett Pesce is one of the ones that got you here, right? If it's like Dance with Who Brought You, he's one of the guys that brought you here. He's a talented player, and even with the 2 wins, there have been times where it has felt like it would be really nice to have a Brett Pesce available right now. Here's the way I would put it. If I were Rod Brindamore, we know no one in the NHL is 100% right now, right? We know nobody, everybody's got a bruise, everybody's got a sore shoulder, not a sore shoulder, a sore shoulder.
Could add that too.
Everybody has a brace on something. Everybody's getting ice after practice. Everybody. For Brett Pesce to play in this series, from my perspective, 100%. He has to be able to look Rod Brindamore in the eye and say, I am 100% good to go. Not, hey, I'm around 80 and I can play. I just saw Lonzo Ball, LaMelo's brother, hasn't played in like 2 years, but he's made $40 million in those 2 years with a knee injury. Mm-hmm. He was just on some podcast and he said, oh, yeah, I'm good to play. I'm like 70%. And I was going, I don't know if that's – if you haven't played basketball in 2 years and you're 70%, I'm not sure that's good to go, good to play. Brett Pesce would have to tell me he's 100% to play tomorrow or in Game 7. Starting the next series, I think that's a much more likely on-ramp if they make it that far, right? If you make it to the Eastern Conference Finals and Brett Pesce's been telling you for a week now that he's good to go.
Game 1 at home, yes.
Game 1 at home, you roll him out there and you're pleased by it. It makes sense for you. But if he comes in saying I'm 75, 80%, if he comes in saying it hurts but I can play, if he comes in saying I can give you 15 minutes, I'm going, well, you can give me a break. Tony DeAngelo's going in the game.
Yeah.
Because Tony, I mean, he brings different things, but it's, I haven't seen a ton lost by Tony DeAngelo.
You miss Pesce on the power play tremendously, and it puts a lot more onus on guys like Burns and Slavin and Orlov and others to kill penalties.
Yep.
It really does put a lot more stress on those guys, especially with Burns is also asked to be on the power play. Shea asked to be on the power play.
Burns is asked to play 35 minutes a night, and that's only kind of an exaggeration.
So I think keeping Pesce out until the Eastern Conference Finals is the right move in the sense that, do you really want to throw a guy in coming off an injury with the speed of the game and the desperation of the game from both teams? Hey, go back in there, catch up.
Yeah.
That's not the time to do it.
Skate a shift. Let me know how you feel. There's none of that. There's
none.
The moment you are on the ice, we need top level Pesce, which is why and by the way, it is possible for somebody to say, the injury, it is 100%. I'm good to go. I'm going to hit the ground running. There's nothing holding me back. You got to be mighty honest, and you got to mighty trust the player. But if that's the case, then maybe you do, because Brett Pesce is really good. And I do think he levels up Shea as a defensive pair. And I do think there are a few different things that he impacts, penalty kill being one of them. But I would lean towards he has to be like 100% of 100%.
And this was his first time skating with the team since he got hurt, was 2.5 weeks ago? Yeah, not the time to throw a guy just right back into the fire.
Tomorrow, I think, is off limits, but then you can start getting to some more difficult questions.
If tomorrow was a game 2 or game 3,
or you're playing the Islanders,
or you're playing the Islanders, sure, go for it. But not like, hey, our backs are against the wall. But you talk about the guys that got you there.
Yeah, go Mark Panarin.
Like, DeAngelo is one of the guys that's also got you here at this point as well, at least in the postseason.
Yep.
Like, I think the lines and everything, your unit, that's who you're rolling with. You're rolling with it because that's what you know right now, and that's what works.
Especially with the information we have. They obviously have much more information and reports and on a scale of 1 to 10, how much does it hurt when? All of those things. We don't get those.
Now look at the smiley faces.
That's
look
every
at the
doctor.
frowny faces.
Every doctor's the same, right?
How are you feeling right now?
Skip. I never knew what to say in those situations. I got hurt a lot growing up. A lot of broken bones and things, and they're always like on a scale of 1 to 10. I'm like, I'm here at the hospital. My hand is swollen. I can't move my shoulder. You put a number on it. Like
at minimum 7.
We're gonna get X-rays. You know it. I know it. Let's go. Let's get this bad boy on the road. What if I say 10? Am I gonna get here faster? Because I don't like hanging in that waiting room. 15. It's a 15 out of 10. Let's head to the X-rays. Is that what we're doing here? The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I'm kidding, doctors. I know you have a very tough job. Some doctor. That's not how it works. The other thing that I find interesting about these next couple of days for the Canes, obviously tomorrow, and if there's a Game 7, is, right, like, I'll just let you in on a little bit of how I prep the show. I'm a lot of times thinking like a week in advance. What are the biggest stories going to be a week in advance? Just so I have like a pay attention to the storylines and you track them. I know as soon as the Canes season is over, whenever that is, hopefully not for a very long time, hopefully after they're hoisting a cup, right? But you got to prepare a little bit. And as soon as the season is over, it becomes about the free agents. It becomes about roster construction. It becomes about long-term deals, and the names that you hear often are going to be brought up. Gensel, Jarvis, Shea, right? There's Pesce, Chatfield. There's a whole bunch of them. And I'm now trying to weave that in to watching this next game, which is, are any of the free agency decisions not done yet, right? I'm big on this. We're about to see in the NFL, what was it? Caleb Williams has already been named the starter, right? For the Bears. I saw someone say Jaden Daniels is opening up his series on the road in Tampa, or his career in the road in Tampa, second overall pick for the Commanders. I think most are expecting him to play. I'm big on playing your rookie quarterbacks early, with the reason being you have to make a decision 3 years from now on if you want to give them $50 or $60 million a year. And I want as much information as possible before I make those decisions. Well, the same is true on the back end, right? I want to play them as much as possible year 3 to know, right? I want to have every bit of how do they perform in the playoffs? How do they perform in clutch games? How do they perform when they're trailing in a game? Like, I want all of the information. Do you think there's Don Waddell watching this postseason going, I'm going to have to make some tough decisions this offseason. Let me see how they react. Is there any decision that hasn't been made already? Is there? Because a postseason run can change a player's reputation, right? You can go from the guy that can't win the big one to the guy that can. Maybe you could even go from the guy that can't win the big game to like a clutch postseason performer in one offseason, and suddenly the price goes up. You can change your financial future with one postseason run. You know who you should ask? He's talking to quarterbacks. Daniel Jones made it to one postseason. Suddenly he was a $40 million a year quarterback. The year before, they didn't pick up his fifth-year option. Just one run to the postseason. Didn't even have to win. Is anyone changing their future with the Canes in the next week? I'll put it this way. Here's how I'm looking at the Canes offseason and future over the next few seasons. I think they have a very, very impressive core of guys that are 26 years old and younger. And then it becomes the hard choice of which older guys have the benefit of sticking around as that group makes their way through their prime. 26 and under on the Canes right now. Aho, Jarvis, Svechnikov, Drury, Natchez, Kochetkov.
Pretty good group.
It's a pretty good group.
Pretty darn good group.
Not fully completed. You're going to need a lot of other pieces around them. You have to choose which of the other guys get the benefit of hanging around while those guys enter in or continue in their prime. Gensel, 30. We're talking roughly here. Slavin, 30. Right? There's that next group of just guys a couple years older who I don't think you want to let leave.
Yeah, I'm definitely not letting Jacob Slavin leave. That's for darn sure.
And
granted, he still has one more year left on his deal. But either way, like,
I'm
he's
talking
eligible
the
for an
next
extension.
Few years. And like somebody like Gensel, I don't think you want him to leave.
No, you don't.
Somebody like Chatfield, I don't think you want him to leave. And these are all guys like in that 28 to 30 range, which extends your window. You start getting to the guys like Pesce, you start getting to the guys like Burns, you start getting to the guys like Shea, I think Stahl is in his own world because he's the captain. But
and he signed an extension this past offseason.
Correct. For 3 more years after this one, right? 3 or 4. But that's why he's kind of in his own world. But I think they might have to really, really redo their defensive pairings. Right? Building around Slavin as the centerpiece and whoever else you can get to hang around, and a whole bunch of young guys who are even younger than that group I read earlier.
Mm-hmm.
So make your case. I know, like, I've talked to professional athletes who have said everyone's thinking about their next contract pretty much all the time. They don't like to say it, right? And to the media, it's like I'm always willing to sacrifice for my team. Team first, team always, team only. Everyone's pretty much aware of like what the market is, and you're thinking of your next contract. And especially if you're an end of the roster guy, or in this case, like a third pairing on a defensive pairing, you're thinking of, I want to stay in the league. I want to keep cashing checks. I want to play well enough. If you need a little extra motivation, which you shouldn't, I think there's a lot of uncertainty this offseason for the Canes. You go score a game-winning goal in a Game 7 or something like that. You go lock down Panarin for an entire game. That goes a long way. Like, recency bias is a thing. What's the lasting image Don Waddell is going to have of you from this season? Probably how you play tomorrow, and if there's a Saturday if you need it, and beyond if you need it.
What about a guy like Jordan Martinook?
That's one of those conversations.
That's a tough one because he doesn't make a ton. I think he's at $1.8 million. His contract expiring. If he's willing to stay down there, I'm fine with it. I am as well. I mean, he's one of your quote-unquote glue guys.
Yep.
He's part of your leadership core with Stahl, with Martinook, with Slavin.
32. I
31
think.
going on
Yeah.
32, somewhere in that age range. And he's scored some big goals. Like, he had a great postseason last year, scored a big goal just the other night, scored the game-winning goal against the Islanders in Game 2. I mean,
that's one where you have to decide whether he gets to be one of the guys that grows with that young group.
and he's vital. I think he's a guy like him is vital because he's one of the leaders that speaks up in the
Keeper
locker
of
room.
the culture.
Yeah, a keeper of culture. Like, there are intangible things that guys like him bring to your lineup as well, but there's only so much money to go around. I think a guy like Teuvo Teravainen's gone after the season. I really do.
That's another example. Teuvo
think he's
Teravainen, even though he's young, what do you do with Jesperi Kokoniemi? Can you move that contract? He
That's
fits
a longer conversation for another time.
He fits in that younger group, but to me, that core that I read, those 6 names, I really like. You throw Slavin, you throw Gensel, you throw Stahl in that mix. Maybe somebody like Martinook. You start to get the core of a team, and then you're just supplementing the pieces. But I will be keeping my eye on you, all of you, tomorrow. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, also starting tomorrow. It's going to be a great sports day tomorrow. The PGA Championship starts tomorrow. And it's an East Coast championship, so there'll be golf all day. And then right as soon as that's wrapping up, you flip it over, you start getting ready for some hockey. It's going to be a fantastic day. And nothing and nobody brings the casual sports fans to the golf course like a major with a lot of drama and storylines. And even better, behemoths, right? And what I mean by that is there are 3 guys going into this major that to me are head and shoulders above everybody. There are 3 guys going into this major who are so set up to be successful that it's going to be like 3 grizzlies fighting over a salmon in a river rather than just 2, like the analogy I usually use. These are like polar bears fighting over seals. I don't know what polar bears eat. Rory McIlroy, Scottie Scheffler, and Brooks Koepka. These are 3 of the biggest names in golf. Even if you're a casual fan, you know who those 3 guys are. You can probably even imagine one of the tournaments they've won. They've all won majors. They've all won a ton of tournaments. They've all been number 1 in the world. You know what else they have all done? They've all won the last tournament they played in. Rory and Scottie have each won the last 2 tournaments they've played in. Obviously, they weren't playing in the same tournaments, but they've each won the last 2 tournaments they've played in. Brooks Koepka is the defending champion at the PGA Championship. Rory McIlroy is the defending champion from the last time the PGA Championship was played at the course that it's being played at this year. Scottie Scheffler is the best player in the world this season on the PGA by basically every meaningful metric. You know who number 2 is? Rory McIlroy. You know why Brooks isn't up on that list? Because he doesn't play on the PGA anymore. He plays on LIV. Brooks Koepka will always have the LIV drama coming into majors, and John Rahm is stirring it up just to make it more fun for all the LIV guys. They have storylines from off the course. Scottie Scheffler had his first child this week, or last week. Rory McIlroy filed for divorce this week. That's kind of more tabloidy.
Okay.
But it's
So Scottie Scheffler, dad strength.
Exactly.
The extra 10 yards off the tee box. Let's go.
Possibly.
Club down, cuz.
I wonder if we'll go dad stash. Last time we saw him, he was rocking the dad, soon-to-be dad beard.
Oh, okay.
But it's absurd how these 3 guys have so much from the golf perspective, setting them like if they had their resumes that they have going into the PGA Championship that starts tomorrow any other year, I'd go, that's my pick to win. But there's 3 of them, and they all can't be my pick to win. There's like, and by the way, Dennis knows this about me. And if you listen into Adam Gold's show, I think he's a lot of the same. I'm about as big of a golf nerd as exists.
Yeah.
I dove it, so I'm also in a golf pool with, you got to pick 3 guys. One has to be an American, one has to be international. The third can be either. Once you use them, you lose them. It goes over the entire line. Golf nerd.
Mm-hmm.
So I was doing my research, like all the way down to the little things. The course, it's Valhalla, it's played outside Louisville. It is the it's a very historic course, right? I don't know if you can be very historic. It's a historic course. There's this data golf thing that's course fit, okay? You can go look at what other courses play similar to this course. So if someone plays well on the other course, it translates to this course. The number 1 comparison, this most similar course, Quail Hollow in Charlotte. Guess who won in Quail Hollow last weekend? Rory McIlroy. Everything that I do, every number, every analytic, every equation points to one of these three guys. I would be wildly surprised if all three of them aren't in the mix on Sunday. And that's the best kind of golf. For casual fans that are trying to become golf fans, the sometimes I think the hardest part is like you show up and you're like, big Tiger fan, big Rory fan, looking forward to it, and then those guys aren't there on Sunday, and you're like, who the heck is Sahith Theegala? And you're going like, why am I excited that this guy might win?
Who?
Exactly. This is one of those weeks, major. It's going to be a very, very impressive field. There's going to be a lot of big names, and I think you can like confidently watch Brooks, Scotty, and Rory on Thursday and know when I get bored on Sunday and turn it on, they're going to be there. And then, of course, I've only talked about three guys, really. I haven't talked about Tiger Woods, who's also playing in this event. And, he doesn't move the needle in golf. He is the needle in golf. And John Rahm and Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth. And they're all playing in it also. Max Homa. Akshay Bhatia from Wake Forest. Lives in Wake Forest now. Will Zalatoris went to Wake Forest. Cam Young went to Wake Forest. They'll all be in the field. It'll be as star-studded as it gets. PGA Championship starts tomorrow. And I'm sure we'll update you on those scores throughout the show because I'll have it up on the TV right in front of me.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. We'll be at PNC Arena.
Oh, we won't have the TV. I'll have to check on my.
Yeah, you gonna be okay?
Well, I'm gonna need someone out there tailgating to run over every once in a while. And then, actually, no, I'll be all right. I need to see who the guys I'm betting on if they tee off in the morning or afternoon. My whole day just changed. We will be at PNC, though, by the way. That is a good promo. 3 to 6, this entire show, the drive will be from the plaza outside PNC Arena. If you look for the bounce houses, the big blow-ups, we're right there in the mix.
Right between PNC and Carter Finley, we're right there.
If you find the s'mores, right next to the s'mores.
Yes, we're right by the s'mores.
the pro shop, right about there. So come say hi. We'll be taking predictions on first goal scorers throughout the game. Sorry, throughout the show, and having a good time with it. So stop by. Right now, we're gonna take a break, but when we come back, football at 4, including a question about all of you. We're gonna turn the camera around on you. Coming up next.
Evan, Canty, and Michelle are unsportsmanlike.
There were so many people that showed out to see Caitlin Clark, and we're so used to seeing her be so dominant. But she's a rookie. There's going to be growing pains. There's a lot of room for her to grow. She is acclimating in real time. We're quite literally watching the calibration period play out. But it's a weird feeling for us because we're so used to seeing Caitlin Clark just be absolutely dominant.
Mornings from 6 to 9 on 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
McDonald's presents Burger Reviews by Hamburglar. Today's review, the best ever Big Mac burger. Take it away, Hamburglar.
Rubble, rubble.
He said, there's more special sauce in every bite.
Rubble, rubble.
He said, rubble, rubble.
Rubble, rubble.
Rubble, rubble indeed, my friend.
Save on a Big Mac and other faves. Buy one, get one for $1. Plus get any size Diet Dr. Pepper for $1.29.
Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Price and participation may vary. Available at most restaurants in this area. Valid for product of equal or lesser value.
Hey friends, Paul Ihander from 99.9 The Fan for FanDuel. It is playoff time. NHL, NBA, and baseball is in full swing. FanDuel is your place to bet on every game. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you bet your first $5. Just visit FanDuel.com/Paul. Paul with a capital P, and sign up. Then you can bet on everything from slap shots to slam dunks to home runs, all on an app that is safe, secure, and easy to use. So get started today. $200 in bonus bets, win or lose, when you place your first $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com/Paul, P-A-U-L, and get started. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. 21 plus and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Autobell Car Wash has been trusted for 55 years for high-quality service. We'll clean your car from the inside out. Now through June 2nd, buy 2 Super Poly Process Wash tickets at any Autobell for just $55.
People can tell when you Autobell.
Organize easy. Organize tough. Customize your work truck or van with upfit solutions from Van Products. Steel and aluminum shelving, toolboxes, data files, cabinets, drawers, conduit carriers, ladder racks, everything safe and secure. Everything built as unbreakable as you by Adrian Steel. Backed by the best warranty in the business. 3 years, 36,000 miles. Everything custom installed by Van Products so you know it's done right. From a single work rig to a fleet, choose custom installed upfit solutions from Van Products.
If you think you or someone close to you is having a stroke, we have 2 words for you. Be fast. B for balance, E for eyes, F is in face, A for arms, S for speech, T for time to call 911. Look for changes in balance, vision, or speech, weakness in one arm, a drooping face. Learn the signs at wakemed.org/stroke, because every second counts.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the 3rd time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
The Triangle is going to be hopping this summer with great soccer. June 5th through the 10th is TST, a 7-on-7 men's and women's tournament at WakeMed Soccer Complex featuring 118 matches. Then July 23rd, International Giants, Manchester City, and Celtic face off at UNC. Save 10% off tickets by going to fcseries.com/Carolina. Use promo code TRIANGLE. That's fcseries.com/Carolina. Promo code TRIANGLE for 10% off.
This hour of the Triangle Sports Leader is powered by Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
He scores! What a comeback!
Visit GotBryan.com. That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports Leader.
I'm WRAL meteorologist Elizabeth Gardner. Today is a WRAL weather alert day. We'll see an increasing chance this afternoon and tonight of storms that could produce wind damage or isolated tornadoes. We do have a level 1 and 2 risk for severe storms as we get through the rest of the day today. 79, our high temperature. After midnight, storms diminish. We'll see a low of 60 and a nice quiet Thursday, a high of 80 degrees under partly cloudy skies.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 4 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones is up 350 points to 39,908. Market update brought to you by The Good Feet Store. Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to The Good Feet Store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities. The Body Armor State Games are in Charlotte this June, North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
Let's move the chains. Time for football at 4.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Occasionally, I look at I should say, because this was Dennis brought this to the table. We look at the comments, the feedback we're getting on certain bits of content we create, and go, "This is weird, huh?" Right? Things that make you go, right? Look at this.
Or a lot of trend, like you see a lot of comments popping up
often. From
like, okay.
Not always from this, like obviously occasionally you get the one super troll who's like, I'm going to comment on every video. Bryce Young is the worst.
Hey, thanks for the engagement.
Yeah, we're not fighting it. But it's, you notice it more when you're seeing it from multiple different people, multiple different videos, multiple different weeks, right? It's not just the growing trend. It's something that's sticking around. And The question we have for all of you is, why is Bryce Young so polarizing? Why does it seem like everybody has to be all in on, oh, he's a beast. He's a better prospect than Caleb Williams ever was. He's going to be so good. He's a future MVP. Don't come crying to me. Or he stinks. He's small. Why did they do it? It's a big mistake. They need to move on from him. They don't have a quarterback. There's no in the middle.
Yeah, we get comments when we talked about the Panthers looks like they're committed to running the ball. Well, it's because they don't have a quarterback. It's like, okay, like he's played one season.
It does feel like they're almost shoehorning it into conversations that don't need to. It's like the Canes power play is a lot like the Panthers offense right now. They just don't have a quarterback effective at making it happen. That's how you end up 1 for 19.
That's a great comparison.
And it's just like, well, we were talking about the power play there. Why are you yelling at me about Bryce Young?
That's funny.
And I think it comes down to this. The test is inconclusive thus far. It's like before the draft. If anyone has very, very definitive decisions and feelings about everything that's going to happen in the draft, you are an absolute idiot if you think Jaden Daniels is better than Drake May. You are an absolute ridiculous nonsense. You don't know ball if you think Drake May is better than Jaden Daniels. I'm looking at it going, just the fact that you were that definitive tells me you don't know ball. Because if you know anything about football, there's a million things that go into everything, right? And I see, like, on the surface, right? And I played this game a lot. If you wanted to talk about Bryce Young's rookie season in as few words as possible, it's not going to be good, right? Second to last in efficiency passing stats, and they were the worst team in the NFL. But if you have to write a 5-page or 5-paragraph, right, middle school paper about Bryce Young's rookie season, it looks better, right? Because then you get to, yes, the stats were bad, but he was playing behind a porous offensive line. He had wide receivers that had a very hard time getting open. He had 2 play callers 2 times each. He had Frank Reich, then Thomas Brown, then Frank Reich, then Thomas Brown as his play callers. There was a lot of context into that. Now, I'm not saying that means he's good. I'm saying that means the test was inconclusive, right? We need to go to the B sample.
Yeah.
Right? Like somebody tested positive for performance-enhancing drugs, but you learn that somewhere along the path, the sample wasn't handled correctly, and you're like, all right, you know what? That's inconclusive. Let's go to the B sample. And the B sample will be his second year, where he has hopefully more stability as from his offensive coaching staff, better offensive line, wide receivers that can get open. And then, we can either confirm or move on from the results from the sample A, his first season. The other thing I think that is making it so polarizing, why everybody has to love Bryce Young or hate Bryce Young, comparison is the thief of joy. I think you're learning something about yourself when it comes to, like, watching C.J. Stroud and seeing him have all that success and seeing him throw for 4,000 yards and seeing him, have a lights-out playoff game, right? And part of us might be, just in our nature to go, gosh, they have it so much better. We were wrong. We're dumb. We chose the wrong guy. We're so stupid. And another is, and I have friends like this. When you're wrong, you actually dig in harder.
Yeah.
Right? I have friends that like, after calming down, right, a couple days later, like, dude, you remember when you argued so aggressively about that? They're like, yeah, I realized halfway through the argument I was wrong, but I wasn't just going to lose. And it's like, part of it is that, right? So if you're overly aggressive, Bryce Young is a star. Bryce Young's going to be the next big thing. Bryce Young's going to win MVPs. I think you might be, you're seeing C.J. Stroud and you're digging your heels in a little bit too hard. Because I didn't see anything this past year, that says Bryce Young's going to be an MVP. I saw an inconclusive test. I saw something that says he's got potential. He might be, but also he might be trash. Now, I didn't see anything that said he's definitely going to be trash because when you put all the context around it, there's reasons for poor play. It is simply a deal where that first season you have to act like it did not happen. So let's rewind all of this back, okay? We put out a video. We put out a podcast. We put out a social media clip of us talking about Bryce Young. But let's pretend you hadn't seen him play his first year in the NFL. How would everybody's responses be?
This guy stinks.
Oh, I'm sorry. You like it didn't happen.
Oh, it didn't happen? Okay.
I'm not saying like you saw the stats and you're just like, hey, this guy stinks. I'm saying like it's just he had the potential of the guy from Alabama. Right? And I'm sitting here saying he's this, he's that. You would all go like, well, let's wait and see what he does at the NFL level, right? Well, he was pretty good at Alabama. Maybe he can bring some of that with him. I think that's the smart place to be for Bryce Young right now. He was a pretty good prospect. He had that weird lost year. Let's see what he can do with a professional situation around him. Let's see what he can do when he has a supporting cast that can match up more evenly, one for one, with NFL defenses. Don't get caught up in C.J. Stroud or Caleb Williams because guess what? In the scheme of things, doesn't matter much. Unless you're thinking Caleb Williams is going to flame out in Chicago and you'll be picking him up off the waiver wire like you did with Baker or Darnold. It doesn't matter, right? Because if he's good, he's just going to be the Bears quarterback for the next 15 years. If C.J. Stroud is good, he's just going to be the Texans quarterback for the next 15 years. You can drive yourself crazy staring at those other teams going, man, I wish we woulda. Or you can give Bryce Young a legitimate shot this upcoming year and make a decision eventually. When you have conclusive data, make a decision. When you have a conclusive test, make a decision and either stick with it and build around him or start looking for the next guy.
It feels like some of the sentiment I get from Panthers fans is almost like they don't want Bryce Young to be successful.
Why is that?
I don't know.
They don't like him?
I'm thinking because they don't like him, they don't want him to be successful. I was like, well, don't you want your team to win? Like, he's your quarterback. He's on your team. Don't you want him to be successful?
That is
I think
real
that's
pickle.
honestly that some of it really feels like that. It's like, I don't like this guy. I didn't think he played well last year. He didn't feel like he elevated anyone. Therefore, he stinks. I don't want him on my team. I hope he feels so he's no longer here. As opposed to, I hope things turn around and my team wins.
Here's how I equate that in my brain. I grew up a Sixers fan, big Sixers fan, right? I cannot stand watching James Harden play basketball. Right?
Yeah.
He just tries to draw fouls. It's so annoying. It slows down the game. It's not entertaining. When James Harden was on the Sixers, I had a very, very difficult decision to make because I'm like, I kind of want him to stink, but what you said, right? I want my team to be good, and he was the second or third best player on the team at that time. If you don't like Bryce Young, just make that known, right? Because I'd preface every conversation I had about James Harden on the Sixers and go, listen, I don't like the way he plays. And then just kind of put it on Front Street, right? Put your biases out there in the open and then we can deal with it. If you want to comment about everything Bryce does that's terrible, but it's because you just don't like him, I don't know, maybe you don't like USC, you don't like Alabama, you don't like Southern California where he's from, you don't like something about the way he talks, I don't know. If you don't like him, let us know you don't like him because then we can judge your opinion accordingly. Because the thing is, James Harden wasn't the worst player in the world. I just didn't like him. I don't like the way he plays. I want him to get the ball to Tyrese Maxey more. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. We have the Canes Cup check-in coming up next to help you get ready for Game 6. But also, just so you know, with football having a bunch of schedule reveals, bunch of matchups being announced, being revealed, at 4:33, we're going to open up the phone lines for what are you most excited about for the football season. Matchups, games, heck, maybe you're going to Germany for Carolina in November. The college game, college team, what are you most excited about for football season? We're going to open up the phone lines at 4:33. So at 4:33, have your dialing fingers ready. Right now, I'm Tim Donnelly for Window Nation. Right now, you can get a free, no-obligation quote from Window Nation. And matter of fact, you should absolutely do it right now, definitely this week, because it's the semi-annual sale over at Window Nation, which means 50% off all window styles, plus 0 interest for 5 years, and an additional bonus if you schedule an appointment this week. Okay, so you have to do it this week. Go ahead and call 866-90-NATION. That's 866-90-NATION. Or visit windownation.com to schedule. If you have old windows that leak water, have condensation, moldy, rotten, get hot to the touch when it's hot outside under the sun, if they're drafty, if the seal is breaking, if the caulking is cracking, if any of that is going on, Window Nation needs to be your first call. 866-90-NATION. Let them know we sent you, and you'll get that additional bonus on top of the semi-annual sale for scheduling this week. You can do that with the call, with the phone, or you can do it online, windownation.com. We have Canes Cup check-in. We have the phone lines open and more coming up next. Stick around.
Canes on.
Let's go, Canes!
Go Canes!
H's left circle, one-timer, he scores!
It's the Stanley Cup playoffs.
Move to Svechnikov, Burns, rebound, score, Seth Jarvis!
Let's go Canes!
Verdeen wide open, rebound, and what a save by Anderson!
The Canes' road to the Stanley Cup runs through us. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
Let's go!
It's bow time. Listen up, because we've got some big news to share. You might want to sit down for this. Bow Sauce is back at Bojangles. If you think you missed it, just imagine how our Supremes must have felt. Because there's no better sauce to pair with our crispy golden chicken Supremes. They're already boldly seasoned to perfection, but add Bow Sauce and you can taste a truly legendary combination that will make you want to yell, it's bow time. So don't wait, grab a Supreme and dip into some Bow Sauce. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to stop whatever you're doing to satisfy your craving for flavor with a Bojangles Chicken Supremes dinner. Choose a 3-piece or 4-piece Supremes dinner. Get your choice of fixin', a biscuit, and legendary iced tea. And don't forget the sauce for dipping, because Bow Sauce is back. That's right, Bow Sauce is back. Hungry for flavor and value and love the Bow Sauce? Then it's bow time.
Oh, this North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club espresso is strong.
Pace yourself. New winners tend to overdo it on the coffee. And with new scratch-offs out, well...
Hey guys, I'm a new winner. My name's Steve. What's your name? I really love this coffee. Wow, this place is great. Glad I grabbed a new scratch-off. Okay, nice to meet you. Gonna get a massage. Ooh, I think I need to relax.
Told you.
This month's tickets pack $135 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.41 to 4.25. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
If Heineken Silver was a 60-second radio ad, it'd tell you all the stuff you need to know in only 30 seconds to keep things light and refreshing. Seriously, time me. Heineken Silver, a world-class light beer that's surprisingly crisp and refreshing, made with only premium quality ingredients and just 2.9 grams of carbs and 95 calories, all without compromising on taste. Heineken Silver, all the taste, no bitter endings. Order now at Heineken.com/silver. Must be 21 and older to purchase. Enjoy Heineken responsibly. Whew, 30 seconds, that's it. Done. Peace.
At Bet365, we don't do ordinary. We believe that every sport should be epic. Every home run, every hit, every inning, every play. From the moments that are legendary to the ones that fly under the radar. Whether it's a walk-off grand slam or a base hit to center field, whatever the sport, whatever the moment, it's never ordinary at Bet365. 21 plus only. Must be physically located in North Carolina. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Get ready. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale is coming to the State Fairgrounds May 17th through the 19th. The Car Scott building will be filled to the max with boats ready for immediate delivery featuring Suzuki outboards, shop center console, runabouts, deck boats, bass boats, pontoons, aluminum boats, and more, all under one roof. Boat Show only savings, discounts up to $8,000, factory rebates, and special financing on site. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale May 17th through 19th at the Car Scott building on the State Fairgrounds featuring Suzuki outboards, free admission, and parking.
I'm still going for it, even with higher stroke risk from atrial fibrillation, an irregular heartbeat not caused by a heart valve problem. Over a 3-year study, Eliquis apixaban tablets reduce stroke risk better than warfarin, and over 97% of Eliquis patients did not experience a stroke. A first stroke occurred in 2.9% of warfarin patients versus 2.3% of Eliquis patients.
Don't stop taking prescription Eliquis without asking your doctor. It may increase your stroke risk. Eliquis can cause serious and in rare cases fatal bleeding. Don't take Eliquis if you have an artificial heart valve, abnormal bleeding, or antiphospholipid syndrome. While taking, you may bruise more easily or take longer for bleeding to stop. A spinal injection while on Eliquis increases risk of blood clots, which may cause paralysis, the inability to move. Get medical help right away for unexpected bleeding, unusual bruising, or tingling, numbness, or muscle weakness. Medications such as aspirin products, NSAIDs, SSRIs, SNRIs, and blood thinners may increase bleeding risk. Tell your doctor about all planned medical or dental procedures. Learn more at Eliquis.com or call 1-855-ELIQUIS.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Again, 4:33. We're looking for the elements this far in advance that you're super excited about for football season. We've had leaks of Panthers schedules, not all of it, but darn near. And the official reveal will be tonight. There's games on Christmas. There's the opening week is pretty well known. We haven't even talked about this. The Mayo Classic, NC State, Tennessee will be playing. That's a night game.
7:30 on ABC.
Nationally televised. So we're looking for what you're most excited about, your questions, your concerns, the things you think will overperform, underperform this football season. At 4:33, we're going to open up the phone lines. Right now, Cup check-in time. It's time for the Cup check-in on 99.9 The Fan, served up by the Dugout Tavern and Grill, Apex's premier sports bar, official member of the Canes Bar Network. Adam Gold was joined earlier this week by EJ Hradek of the NHL Network. This is part of their conversation.
It's now 3-2. Assess where you think this series is.
Well, you know what's funny is that I thought going into it, and I've had this conversation with other people going into it, is that Carolina – if the game is played at 5-on-5, Carolina has a great chance to win. If there's a lot of power play and penalty killing time, I think the New York Rangers have an advantage. And if you just look at the 5 games, in game number 1, this is minor penalties. There were 10 minor penalties called, Rangers win. Game number 2, there were 14 minor penalties called, Rangers win. Game number 3, there were 15 minor penalties, Rangers win. Game 4, there were 5 minor penalties called, Carolina wins. And game 5, there were 6 minor penalties called, Carolina wins. I think the more 5-on-5 time there is in the game, and I think that's held true, I think gives Carolina the edge. Now, I thought the Rangers were not very good in game 5. Yep. They were, I don't know why they would be flat, but they just weren't very good. And on the flip side, I thought Carolina was really good in game 5. And if it wasn't for Igor Shesterkin, they probably would have won the game handily, instead of being down 1-0 going into the third period. So when people always ask me about how teams are going to win in the playoffs when they're closely matched, and I think these are 2 closely matched teams, sometimes because of the styles of the teams, I ask, tell me who's officiating and how the game will be called, and then I can give you an idea of who I think is going to win. So to this, I think if we have another low-event game in power plays for either side, I think it does favor Carolina. They're at home. You know, the extra day off I don't ever like for a team like, the team that won, like Carolina won. I would love them to be playing tomorrow night on regular schedule. I think the extra day off always favors the team that's lost. But, I think this is held true, and I think if we have a lot of penalties, I think it favors the Rangers, and I think if they have fewer penalties in the game, it favors Carolina.
I think I would rather play the game tonight.
Yeah, that's what I mean, I'll go back because everybody has talked a lot about these echoes of 1994 for the Rangers,
right.
Winning, and the Knicks that were good that year. A lot of different things have happened that are coincidental, or who knows, maybe there was a grander plan that I'm not aware of. But the bottom line is that, when the Rangers went into Game 7 against Vancouver, they lost Games 5 and 6 to create this epic showdown at Madison Square Garden. There was an extra day off in between Games 6 and 7. There was a long flight back from Vancouver, and I always have maintained that that extra day off really saved the Rangers in that case. I think if they would have had to play on an every other day schedule from every other day between 6 and 7, so just the day off and then play Game 7, I think they would have lost. But the extra day off I think gives the losing team, in a close series, in a tightly contested series, a day to breathe, a day to reassess, and a day to get ready for the task at hand, where the team that has won, like you just said, you want to play the next day.
Yeah.
You're feeling good about things. So the extra day off, I don't think favors Carolina in this case, but hey, they're going to play. Hockey's a crazy game, and I would expect it to be close again. And you know what? The Carolina Hurricanes got to be feeling great because that was a good performance last night. And afterwards, Evgeny Kuznetsov said, we should be proud of ourselves as a group, and I would echo that. They should be, because they came out, on the road in a must-win game, and they played a very good game. So they should be proud of that. We'll see if they can come up with another one on Thursday.
Once again, that was the Canes Cup check-in here on 99.9 The Fan. The Cup check-in served up by the Dugout Tavern and Grill, Apex's premier sports bar, official member of the Canes Bar Network. Adam Gold and EJ Hradek of the NHL Network. Now, just like we do every Wednesday, it's time for Hit It and Quit It. I'll get us started. The first topic, we know the Panthers and Giants, they announced this morning, the NFL. I'm going to mix that up forever.
It's going to happen.
The NFL schedule is being released in its entirety tonight, but they revealed the certain premier games, international games and things already, holiday games. So we know that the Panthers are playing the Giants in Germany in a game that will count as a Carolina home game. You know what I don't like about this?
What's that?
Brian Burns doesn't have to come back to Carolina.
Yeah, I know. I was looking forward to that.
It's a mid-November game. To be completely honest, there might not be a lot on the line for either of those two teams in mid-November, but that's like a spicy little deal, right? They didn't want him. He didn't want them. There were holdouts, but not holdouts, but playing, but not playing. But is he worth it? But is he not worth it? He goes somewhere else and he immediately makes $1 billion trillion. I kind of was looking forward to him having to be back in Bank of America and seeing what the fans did. Do you cheer? You know what?
I'm cheering, bro. I would absolutely cheer.
He's playing against your team.
That's fine. It's not his fault he's gone. He got traded.
Could have accepted $27 million per year rather than 30-something.
But he got 30.
You know what I do like about him not having to come back to Bank of America, though?
What's that?
No tribute video. No tribute video.
Did you do that in the NFL, tribute videos?
I don't know.
You see in the NHL?
I know they do it in the NBA. I know they do it in the NHL. I'm assuming, did Peppers ever come back and play in Carolina? I'm sure they would have. Played,
if it was with the Bears or with the
Packers. They would have played some highlights up there on a Jumbotron.
During the first and second quarter.
Media timeout?
Yeah.
Brady, when he went back to play in New England, I'm sure they had to, right? By the way, I don't like tribute videos.
Yeah, I know you're
against
them.
I am against, so at least the fact that they're in Germany means there won't be a tribute video. Let's quit that. Let's hit this.
You like that? You like that?
Speaking of NFL schedules, we already have 9 Panthers games already, even though the schedule reveals not to tonight. We know, because of the Saints schedule was leaked out, we know the Panthers are going to be at the New Orleans Saints week 1, and they're also going to be playing host against the New Orleans Saints in week 9. We know that they're going to play at home against Tampa week 13, so Canales against his former team week 13, and then he has to go to Tampa week 17. So those are 4 divisional games, which means week 18 they'll be playing the Atlanta Falcons, whether that's home or away, we don't know. Apparently they're also going to be at the Philadelphia Eagles week 14, at the Vegas Raiders week 3, at Denver week 8, at Chicago week 5, and the first home game that we know of is apparently week 2 against Arizona Cardinals. So there we go. Now we're just piecing all the things together. Still waiting to hear about, obviously, when they're going to play the Kansas City Chiefs, which is going to be a home game. LA Chargers is going to be a home game. Dallas Cowboys is going to be a home game.
Just got to find out when.
They're going to get the Atlanta Falcons, obviously, at home. Washington Commanders, I believe they're at Washington. So there's a lot of games that still need to be figured out.
That'll all be released tonight.
Yes. But there you go, folks. Congratulations. so much buildup to something that it's like, oh, like it already kind of sort of happened.
I think the NFL should, like I said this yesterday, they should have the schedule and tell nobody.
Mm-hmm.
Like Roger Goodell, the people from Ernst & Young that always handle the Oscar Award winners, and nobody else. Let the teams, then you just email it to the teams at like 8 o'clock as you're releasing them on TV. That's what I say. Let's quit that. Let's hit this.
Got him!
The NFL is diversifying the places you can watch them. In the meantime, costing us a ton of money. I've got a couple questions for Netflix. One, they just announced they're green-lighting Happy Gilmore 2.
Okay.
Please don't mess that up.
Yeah, don't.
I'm very nervous at the very long the sequels that come very, very long after the original. I'm looking at you, Dumb and Dumber 2. I'm looking at you, Zoolander 2. I don't like comedy sequels. It's very, very rare for comedy sequels to be as good or better than the original. Don't mess with Happy Gilmore. I quote it too much as it is. But they also, the Netflix is finalizing a deal to acquire exclusive rights to stream 2 NFL Christmas Day games.
This season, yep.
Which involve the Chiefs, the Ravens, the Steelers.
Texans.
And the Texans. That means the NFL will now have exclusive games on Netflix, Peacock, Amazon, and ESPN+. Joe Pompliano covers the business of sports. Put this out. When you add in YouTube TV and Sunday Ticket, it's YouTube TV for $72.99, ESPN Plus for $10.99, Peacock for $5.99, Prime for $8.99, Netflix for $6.99. Times all that by 6 months so you can see all the games. Add Sunday Ticket for $349. It is $986 to watch every NFL game. That's too much. That's too many. So if you're going to do that, at least make Happy Gilmore 2 really good. Yeah. At least make Happy Gilmore 2 really good. Get back to putting out good stuff.
We're seeing Netflix really dive into the live content now. Like they have the deal now starting in January with the WWE for Monday Night Raw to stream live on Netflix exclusively. So there's a lot of different moving parts, and Netflix is realizing, live content, we got to have more of it.
Live sports.
Any sort
NFL is the creme de la creme.
The Tom Brady roast was live on Netflix as well. It's a thing.
Yeah, it is. I didn't even put that together. That is let's quit that. Let's almost went into starting 5. Let's quit that. Let's hit this.
We got better tonight.
Brett Pesce back at practice today. First time skating since his injury early in the Islanders series. Skated as an extra alongside Dylan Coughlin. So I don't expect him back in the lineup tomorrow, nor do I expect him back in the lineup on Saturday either. I really don't.
We had this conversation earlier. Do you make that clear for Tony D'Angelo's sake?
I think so.
You don't want Tony looking over his shoulder, right?
No.
That's always what I like. I remember thinking this is a while ago now, when Dak Prescott stepped in for Tony Romo and Dak was playing so well. Until Dak was fully established, I feel like the Cowboys should have looked at Tony and been like, no, you're still hurt. Like, you're not ready yet. You're still hurt. We want to see this through a little bit. And I think I'd do that about Pesce. Be like, publicly we're going to say you're not 100% yet because you're not playing until the beginning of next series if we get there. So chill out a little. Let's quit that. Let's hit this.
The worst.
NC State and Virginia have agreed to play non-conference football games against each other a couple years from now.
In 2025 and in 2026.
Now, you may say, wait a second, NC State and Virginia, non-conference, they're in the same conference. Some are seeing this as a acknowledgement that there's a good chance they won't be in the same conference by that point. In actuality, there are shades of gray to that because with the expansion of the ACC, you're not going to play every team every year, which you didn't already, but even more so. So if you want to avoid going like 5 years without playing a team, you might have to schedule them as a non-conference opponent, especially if you want to get a home and home. if you want them to play at your place. So it's a non-conference game. It's a Power 4 game, so that's a good resume builder. There is some history there. I wouldn't say a ton, but there's basketball history. And they've played 11 times since 2000. I'm confused by it. I don't know why you wouldn't play another Power 4 team, but I kind of see the logic.
I mean, it's what, 4-hour drive from Raleigh to Charlottesville? It's not that far of a trip, especially for your fan bases. But this is not unprecedented. We've seen UNC and Wake Forest play each other non-conference in football multiple times. So this is not out of the blue. It's not unprecedented. I'm okay with it. They have conference games lined up in 2027 and 2029 per the ACC schedule. So, okay, you're going to play a Power 5 team that's in your region, that's close by, a familiar opponent. Got no problem with it.
It's just weird. Like, NC State could beat Virginia and then have the same record in conference as Virginia and be behind Virginia, because that game will not be a or it won't count towards your conference schedule.
Yeah,
it's strange.
By the way, speaking of NC State football, their Duke's Mayo Classic, when they play Tennessee early on in the season, is a primetime game on ABC, 7:30 kickoff down in Charlotte.
That might be the thing you're most looking forward to. Let's open up the Heister Automotive Group hotline. We've been talking a lot today because of all these schedule leaks and schedule reveals and streaming deals and everything else about the NFL, about college football as we just did, the Duke's Mayo Classic, whatever it is. Is there a player, a matchup, a particular game, a game you always go to? Is there something you're particularly looking forward to about this football season? We want to hear it. 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5326. Heister Automotive Group hotline is open, and we want to hear from you on what you're looking forward to this football season. I'll give you one of mine.
Okay.
I'm very much looking forward to Dave Canales versus the Bucs. He was their offensive coordinator last year. He made Rachaad White into what Rachaad White is as their play caller. Mike Evans and he had a strong relationship. And remember, Mike Evans was potentially someone that could have hit the free agency market this offseason. And he instead was paid a whole bunch and stayed with Tampa. It looks like he's going to finish his career there. But I'm sure Dave Canales at least made a call. I love those kind of relationships, those familial relationships where you got to go play against your old family member. Ryan and Raleigh's on the call-in line. You can be as well. The number is 919-860-5326, the Heister Automotive Group hotline. Ryan, thank you for calling in. What are you most looking forward to this football season?
This can be NFL or college, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep. Could be high school if you really want to get crazy.
I'm looking forward, crossing my fingers when I say this, for hopefully healthy J.C. Horn football season.
That's pretty good. Now,
because
are you prepared to pay him
one of my
if he
favorite
is?
Players to watch. Sorry, what did you say?
Are you prepared for the Panthers to have to shell out a whole bunch of money if he has a full, healthy season?
I'd pay him anything.
Right.
I love watching him play football.
All right. Appreciate the call.
Like on Twitter, seeing people who don't watch enough Panthers football and just see that he got hurt and not understand how truly good he is. Just I just want to see him play, show everybody how good he is, because I think he's got easily potential to be a top 3 defensive back in the NFL.
We've been talking about the schedule all day today. Do you have a particular game you're looking forward to?
Playing DJ Burns.
You mean Brian Burns? But I know what you're saying.
I'm still in the basketball mood.
That's why we're doing this. We got to start shifting.
And the Chargers. I like watching the Chargers play. I'll probably go to that game.
Cool.
That'll be cool.
Ryan, appreciate the call. Good one. Call back in anytime. Heister Automotive Group hotline open, 919-860-5326. Playing DJ Burns is what he's
playing that one. I mean, if J.C. Horn does stay healthy, I mean, I'm waiting for him to see him against the best in the league when Herbert and the Chargers coming to town, when the Chiefs and Mahomes coming to town. Yeah,
whatever.
J.C. Horn stays healthy, yes.
Whichever quarterback's playing for the Falcons. Ryan is right, though. J.C. Horn, when he is healthy, is one of the more aesthetically pleasing play styles for cornerbacks. He closes fast. He has great technique. He gets a lot of pass breakups. Just kind of very, very fun to watch. And those clips do go viral.
He's darn good.
And if he plays they did pick up his fifth-year option.
They did.
Which, if he plays a full healthy season, can help mitigate their cost a little bit. But corners that play the level he plays, if they play a full season, they're expensive.
Yeah, that they are. But they're worth it.
Yes, there's a reason why they're
worth
expensive,
it.
but they are expensive.
Is there anything about the NFL schedule that you don't like? Like you don't look forward to or not a fan of?
I saw this for the Chiefs, and I'd like, pardon me to be somebody that stands up for the Chiefs because I know everybody's like just waiting for them to fall off their dynasty pedestal.
Of course.
They play on a Monday, a Wednesday, a Thursday, a Friday, a Saturday, and a Sunday. As a former football player, I hate that with a fiery passion. Like, you get into a rhythm. You get into, here's our Monday practice, our Tuesday practice, our Thursday. It happens. And it's just, I know that they want to have the Chiefs in every single primetime matchup that they possibly can and in every single standalone matchup that they possibly can. But at a certain point, you got to make sure, they're playing the Texans and the Steelers 5 days apart. Like that.
Yeah, you have to play on they're playing on a Saturday before Christmas against the Steelers. And then no, I'm sorry.
So they're playing
I forget. No, I'm sorry. The Steelers have to play the Ravens that Saturday, but then they play the Chiefs on Christmas Day. But the Chiefs have a game obviously that Saturday before Christmas as well. So it's just you're completely thrown off. It's to your detriment to be good.
Yeah, a little bit of that.
It's to be popular and be good is almost to your detriment.
If you're actually, it's you want to be the surprise good. You want to be like the Texans from last year.
Yeah,
where you played just about every week Sunday at 1:00. So you were always jump start on the rest for the next week. Mm-hmm. You were always right in routine, and then you got to be good. Now this year they're playing on Christmas and stuff, so they don't get that benefit anymore. They're playing on a Wednesday, so it's. I like maybe I'm crazy and I've fully, completely opened the possibility to that. I think football is pretty much perfect when there's most of the games on Sunday, one on Monday. I think it's perfect for our attention span. I don't need NFL football on Wednesdays. I've kind of gotten used to Thursdays, but I don't need it on Thursdays. Like if it was every game except for one on Sundays, Monday Night Football on Mondays, I'm good with that. I don't need the Chiefs playing on a Monday, a Wednesday, a Thursday, a Friday, a Saturday, and a Sunday out of 17 games, no matter how good they are. The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Want to tell you about my friend Coach Pete and everything going on over at Capital Financial Advisory Group. Get this. Coach tells me you can use the death benefit from a life insurance policy to pay for any long-term care expenses tax-free. It's one of the many benefits of the new generation of life insurance. But Coach Pete and the fiduciary planning team at Capital Financial can walk you through the best way to put your life insurance policy to work for you and your financial future. And that's in addition to all of the double-checking, triple-checking, and maximizing of your income that they'll do for your retirement plan, right? That's what we all want. When you retire, you want to know your income's coming, and you want it to be as big as it possibly can be. All the way, not just to retirement, not just through the first couple years of retirement, but through the entirety of retirement. That's what Coach Pete and Capital Financial are looking to do for you. So what are you waiting for? Call Coach Pete and his team today. Call right now, and Coach Pete will walk you through and hook you up with a copy of one of his best-selling books, but you have to be sure to tell him I sent you. So when you give him a call, let him know Tim sent me. You'll get the extra stuff, right? I'm trying to hook you up here. Help me help you. You just have to let him know you heard about it from Tim on 99.9 The Fan when you give him a call at 800-691-3215. 800-691-3215. Or you can just text my name. It's so easy, right? Texting. We all do it. TIM. Text Tim to 600-700. That's TIM to 600-700 so they know we sent you and you'll be taken care of. It's all happening over there at Capital Financial Advisory Group and Coach Pete. We're going to take a break. When we come back, the Canes got an extra day between Game 5 and Game 6. right? Feels like our circadian rhythms tell us there should be a game tonight, but there's not till tomorrow. Is that a good thing or a bad thing for the Hurricanes? We debate next.
You expect your home to protect everything you love, but you don't expect the ways water is breaking down your crawl space and damaging your home. Musty smells, sagging floors, mold are just a few signs your crawl space is compromised. But there's one way to get answers to all your concerns. A free home inspection from Tar Heel Basement Systems. We put water back in its place. Get your free inspection at tarheelbasementsystems.com.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
This is the absolute worst time of the year to be dealing with joint pain. You can't do the outdoor things you love to do. Hiking, jogging, biking, going to the beach. You name it, it can't be done. Don't go through the summer missing out on life. Call QC Kinetics now and find out how they can use biologics from your own body to give new life to your achy joints like your knees, hips, back, and shoulder. QC's regenerative medicine protocols can restore and repair that damaged tissue with no surgery, no steroids, no drugs, and no downtime. This is the future of medicine. Tens of thousands of QC Kinetics patients around the country are living their best life this year because they made the call. QC medical professionals are under the direction of Dr. Mitchell Scheinkopp, who was an orthopedic surgeon who became a true pioneer in regenerative medicine. He knew there had to be a better way. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation. Revolutionary treatments for joint pain are here. Call 919-400-5473 with locations in Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest. 919-400-5473.
Getting ready to take on spring? Make your first move with the reliable performance and power of Steel battery tools. From hedge trimmers and mowers to string trimmers and more, save on select Steel battery tools. Right now, save $50 on the RMA 460V lawnmower battery set. Real Steel. Find yours at steeldealers.com. With AK30 battery and AL101 charger. Offer valid for a limited time only while supplies last. See participating dealer for details.
McDonald's presents Burger Reviews by Hamburglar. Today's review, the best ever Big Mac burger. Take it away, Hamburglar. Rubble, rubble. He said, there's more special sauce in every bite. Rubble, rubble. He said, rubble, rubble. Rubble, rubble. Rubble, rubble indeed, my friend.
Save on a Big Mac and other faves. Buy one, get one for $1. Plus get any size Diet Dr. Pepper for $1.29. Price and participation may vary. Available at most restaurants in this area. Valid for product of equal or lesser value.
It's playoff time in the NBA and the NHL. Baseball's in full swing, and FanDuel is your place to bet on every game. Adam Gold here, and right now new customers can get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you make your first $5 wager, because you know me. Go to FanDuel.com, promo code AdamGold to get started. FanDuel.com, promo code AdamGold. Then you can bet on anything. Slap shots, home runs, slam dunks, all on an app that is safe, secure, and easy to use. $200 in bonus bets await when you place your first $5 wager. Visit FanDuel.com, promo code AdamGold. FanDuel is America's #1 sportsbook. Must be 21 and older and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Bonuses issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
The Body Armor State Games are in Charlotte this June, North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. Is the extra day off good or bad for the Canes? An extra day to rest, to relax, to recuperate. Is that good or bad for the Canes? Keep in mind that the Rangers also got to rest, relax, and recuperate, lick their wounds, figure out what was going on. If you believe in momentum, which I'm just going to let you know I do. But there's a whole subset of like sports world, sports Twitter that very, very aggressively does not believe in momentum. And you may be surprised they have spreadsheets to prove it.
I think it's all relative.
I think if you ever played a sport, you know the feeling.
Mm-hmm.
And actually, I think it's more obvious when it's the lack of. When you have absolutely no momentum, that feeling sticks with you for life. Having momentum is great, but you always attribute that to, like, we're just being good, right? You're always like, all right, we're clicking, we're doing what we want to do. When you don't have momentum, you're like, gosh, the momentum is against us. I believe in momentum. If you believe in momentum, should the Canes be worried that Game 6 isn't tonight in Raleigh? Because I'm looking at it like this. If I were the Canes, I would have wanted to run it back on Monday night, right? I don't care that you were on the road. If after that third period, if you would have said, hey, intermission, start it back up, Game 6, I would have taken it right there on that ice. Ice was hot. It's like a hot table in Vegas. You don't get up. You keep it rolling.
I'm pulling the slot machine. Let's go.
Instead of running it back, you get 2 days off, travel back to Raleigh. Everything gets to simmer down a bit. I don't know if that's good for the Canes. I think it's bad. I think you want the fewest amount of things that feel like barriers from what you did in Game 4 and Game 5. And just an extra day feels like Game 6 is a fresh start. And I'm going, no. I don't want a fresh start. I want the same start. I don't want a fresh start. I want to pick up where we left off. I want a fresh start. The other part of it is this. There is part of me that wants to know if either team is going to make any big strategic changes. Right, and players are getting healthy, both sides. Players are there's very obvious elements, meaning like power play or PK, or there's very obvious elements of things that you'd want to do better. Because if there are ever any big strategic decisions to make, a lot of times the day off is when you talk yourself into it. And it really wasn't that long ago that Rod Brindamore decided to shake up his active roster and put Kuznetsov as a healthy scratch.
Mm-hmm.
Since bringing him back, scored a couple goals, some pretty big ones. So does either team have the time now to talk themselves into something similar? Again, I'm not saying like, pulling Shesterkin, right? I'm not talking about.
I mean, unless you're going to do it.
I'm not talking about like, we're going to take Gensel and put him on the fourth line. I'm not talking about something dramatic, but do you shift up a back pairing? Do you shift up? Shift is the wrong word because that's actually something in hockey. Do you change up a fourth line pairing because you're looking for something more? Because if you're the Rangers, you've now seen the fourth line of the Canes score enough times that we got to change something up back there. Can't let these guys keep, changing the game with the back half of their roster.
I think Rod today at practice did tweak some personnel a little bit with the power play units. That's really about it.
Tweaked it back kind of with Teravainen and Gensel flipping around. Do you do something to try to free up Jarvis? Because Jarvis hasn't recorded a point, I believe, since Game 1. And he's a player that if he gets going, could be the wave you ride to a 4 straight comeback win in a 7-game series.
I mean, Gaston almost scored 14 seconds into the game off a beautiful pass by Jarvis. I mean,
true.
It's not like he's not creating chances.
True, but and again, that's all the discussions you have over an extra day. Where when you don't have the extra day, I think a lot of the conversations are just we don't have time for that. They had a practice today. Practices in the postseason are like full moons. They come around few and far between, like legit practices, not morning skates. Like it's interesting. Rod was asked, does the top line with Aho need to produce more? This was his answer.
Maybe. I mean, it depends. Obviously I think they've played well and certainly certain stretches had opportunities. I think Gens had another, breakaway the other night and they've kind of been around it, but yeah, I mean, I know what you mean. I mean, obviously they get the bulk of the looks and the ice time and et cetera. So, we probably do need them to be on the score sheet.
I don't know if it seems fair to attack that line. I mean, they've got a ton of points this postseason.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Aho has 6 assists and a goal and 6 assists. Gensel's got 3 goals in this series.
3 goals in those 2 games.
Yeah.
It's I think that's a quick conversation, but I think you're having the conversation. Does the top line need something? Do you do something? By the way, we're talking about momentum. Rod Brindamore had a conversation about momentum and taking it one game at a time. Here's Rod.
I mean, never block out the successful stuff that you're doing, and you don't block out the bad stuff. You got to learn from it and make sure you don't repeat it. So you know, as boring as it is, it's we got to win in one game again, and that's all we're focused on. Our jobs don't really change. And they don't. I mean, like I said, you can't ask for guys to give more than they're giving. You can't ask for goalie to stop more pucks. Like they're going to go and do their best, and that's all that we've always asked our guys, and I'm sure we'll get that.
Rod is such a player's coach. Can't ask for guys to give more than they're given. I know a lot of coaches that ask. You could be needing an IV after the game. The next game they're going like, I need you to give more. Rod, he gets that kind of stuff. It's always well played by Rod and the media. Also always close to his vest. So I don't know if we're going to get any changes. I wouldn't expect anything big, but hey.
I think he's just going to roll with it. I think he's going to roll with his group. Simple as that. Because
they've been on the floor.
They've been in every game this series, so it's not like, hey, we're getting outplayed. We need to change things. Like all 3 losses were a goal.
Let me ask you
2
this.
of them in overtime.
Is there anything you would do as a coach with your coaching background to not lose momentum? Like, do you practice harder today? Is there anything you could do to minimize the loss of momentum?
I don't think so, because I think you have a strong, crisp practice, but I don't think you do anything out of the ordinary. I think that's part of it as well. Is like you want to try and keep that routine the same. You don't want to overthink it. I think that's the biggest thing. You don't want to overthink it. Like, guys, we know what we got to do. Let's do it. We're going to tweak some things here in the power play. We're going to do those kinds of things that we need to adjust because that's clearly not working. Otherwise, we know what we got to do. Just go win this game, and we'll worry about Saturday on Saturday. Just go win Thursday.
There was that's a good way to put it. Don't overthink it. And sometimes I think that extra day gives you a little bit more time to overthink, and you're like a pause, and you're like, no, I don't want to pause. I just want to run.
Yeah,
it's me on the exercise bike or something, right? I'm like, if I start thinking too much, this is gonna stink. I need something to distract me, right? And I don't think they want to get off the treadmill. I think they just want to run, and keep it rolling.
Dennis Cox here with my friends over at Loan Pronto. Imagine waking up this time next week and being 100% debt-free. No credit cards, no car loan, no personal loans. Loan Pronto's Equity Express line of credit can make it happen. Homeowners are turning their home equity into cash almost instantly. With Loan Pronto's AI-based system, you can get approval in about 10 minutes. With almost no documentation, no appraisal, and no hassle, you can get hundreds of thousands of dollars out of your home. Use that money to pay off all your loans. The average homeowner saves over $850 a month doing this. Listen, your home value, it's way up. You can use that to wipe out all those credit cards. Get some money out for that home improvement project you've been wanting to get done. Literally hundreds of thousands are at your fingertips, and approval is just minutes away. Call now. 919-381-1760. 919-381-1760. LoanPronto.com. 919-381-1760. NMLS 1661781. Subject to lender approval. Equal housing lender.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, back with the starting 5, including some injury updates from today's Canes practice. Stick around.
Hey, it's Adam Gold, and do you have a late-night craving for in-depth analysis on the Carolina Hurricanes and their latest game, their latest win, their pursuit of the Stanley Cup? Well, I can quench your thirst. I can feed that appetite on the Canes Corner podcast, the morning after edition, which drops the morning after every Hurricanes game. Get it wherever you get your podcast. Brought to you by the Aluminum Company of North Carolina.
Hello, I'm John Heister for the Heister Automotive Group. And we're constantly looking for ways to serve you better. One of the ways we do that is with something we call a go-see. And that's where you select a vehicle from our inventory, and we have thousands, and we get one of our product specialists to bring that vehicle to you at your convenience. How do we do that? Well, it's simple. We have a group of employees that are evaluated based on the number of presentations they do. They're glad to do it. So it's just one more way we get off our keister and bring Heister to you.
Autobell Car Wash has been trusted for 55 years for high-quality service. We'll clean your car from the inside out. Now through June 2nd, buy 2 Super Poly Process Wash tickets at any Autobell for just $55.
People can tell when you Autobell.
Hank Williams Jr. Are you ready for the contract? Live in concert. It's a family tradition. Bocephus Live with special guest Nitty Gritty Dirt Band. Alabama. Friday, May 17th, Coastal Credit Union Music Park, Raleigh. Put it apart and I was born to boogie. On sale now at livenation.com. Hank Williams Jr., part of the Mattress Warehouse Concert Series.
Contractors, when you're trying to stay competitive, every dollar counts. Consider Habitat for Humanity for your new cabinets and kitchen design services. Habitat for Humanity Restores now sells brand new solid wood cabinets, high quality and manufactured locally, available in multiple styles and color options. Everybody wins because you save money and can stay competitive, which keeps your customers happy, and sales benefit Habitat for Humanity home projects. Learn more about custom cabinet orders from Triangle Restores at trianglerestores.org.
The Triangle is going to be hopping this summer with great soccer. June 5th through the 10th is TST, a 7-on-7 men's and women's tournament at Wake Med Soccer Complex featuring 118 matches. Then July 23rd, International Giants, Manchester City, and Celtic face off at UNC. Save 10% off tickets by going to fcseries.com/Carolina. Use promo code TRIANGLE. That's fcseries.com/Carolina, promo code TRIANGLE for 10% off.
Oh, this North Carolina Education Lottery Winners Club espresso is strong.
Pace yourself. New winners tend to overdo it on the coffee. And with new scratch-offs out, well...
Hey guys, I'm a new winner. My name's Steve. What's your name? I really love this coffee. Wow, this place is great. Glad I grabbed a new scratch-off. Okay, nice to meet you. Gonna get a massage. Ooh, I think I need to relax.
Told you.
This month's tickets pack $135 million in total prizes. The Winners Club awaits. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning range from 1 in 3.41 to 4.25. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
It is not often in this life that you can save both time and money and make your life better in the process. So here's how I'm going to save you time and money. We're getting rid of contact lenses, getting rid of glasses, getting rid of everything that goes along with them. Money, those things all cost a lot of money. And here's how we're going to do it. We're going to go to Dr. Lori Travers LASIK, and we're going to let her work her magic on us as she did on me. 5 minutes per eye, totally painless, back to work the next day. And here's the best part. We're going to give you $1,000 off. Go right now. Travers LASIK, Dr. Lori Travers, the only LASIK specialist in the Triangle. And by the way, 0% financing for 24 months is available. 919-510-6830. Make the call now. And on top of that, we can save $1,000 right now. All you got to do, go to TraversLASIK.com. The consultation is free. TraversLASIK.com. 919-510-6830 for Travers LASIK.
This hour of buzzer-beating, nail-biting, edge-of-your-seat sports action on 99.9 The Fan is powered by
Ritchie Law Firm Injury Lawyers.
Visit GotBryan.com.
That's GotBryan.com.
WCMC HD1 Holly Springs. Take us with you on radio, web, app, Alexa, and YouTube. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
I'm WRL meteorologist Amy Wilmoth. It's a weather alert day. We have the potential for some severe storms for the rest of the afternoon into the evening hours, damaging winds, isolated tornadoes, and some hail possible. Overnight tonight, we'll have mostly cloudy skies with lows near 60, and then mostly cloudy Thursday with a high of 79.
Weather update brought to you by Newcomb & Company, where your comfort is their business. Visit newcombandcompany.com. 5 o'clock check of your money. Dow Jones up 349 points today to 39,908. Market update brought to you by Habitat for Humanity Restore, now selling brand new solid wood custom cabinets. Learn more at trianglerestores.org. The Body Armor State Games are in Charlotte this June, North Carolina's largest sports festival of the year. Athletes of all ages and skills can register now at bodyarmorstategames.org.
It's 5 o'clock. Time to serve up the biggest sports stories of the day. Here comes your starting 5.
Starting 5 here on the drive with Tim Donnelly on 99.9 The Fan. Starting 5 served up by Ritchie Law Firm, Injury Lawyers. Visit gottbryan.com. That's gottbryan.com. Before we start the starting 5, reminder, tomorrow we'll be outside PNC.
Let's go.
Game 6 will be on the Plaza. We'll be doing our show live from there. Stop by, say hi. We'll have a little QR code you can scan to enter to win a signed Canes jersey.
We want your first goal scorer predictions.
First goal scorer predictions, and also just taking the vibes, man.
Yeah, enjoy it.
Playoff hockey. There truly is nothing like it.
Hey, for example, on our YouTube live stream, Evan said, I'm currently on my flight from LAX to RDU for Game 6. Let's go Canes. On his flight, he says.
Evan.
Shout-outs to Evan.
Stop by and say hi.
Yes,
want to shake your hand.
Let's go. And have a safe flight, obviously.
Yeah. I have a safe flight, of course, always. Whenever people say that to me, I'm like, oh, good. I wasn't going to until you reminded me.
Yeah, well, you know. Safe travels.
Yeah.
I wasn't planning on it, but all right.
Yeah, exactly. Baby on board. I was going to ram into the back of your car, but you have the little sign that says baby on board, so instead I shall let you drive.
I'll think twice now.
Let's get into the starting 5, starting with number 5. Brett Pesce back at practice today. Before we give our thoughts, let's hear from Rod Brindamore on Pesce being back and then a little exchange with the media.
Yeah, it was good to see him out there first time. I don't think status has changed.
Is that a change you can make this late in a series, even if he said, I'm ready to go?
Yeah, definitely. If you could. I'm not sure you would, but you definitely could.
You really thought he was going to answer that question?
Hey, it's still worth asking, though.
A full day? No, I mean, it is. It just reminds me of the Cardinals question before the draft where they asked the Arizona Cardinals media member asked the GM how many they had on with a first-round grade on their big board, and the GM talked in a circle for about 45 seconds. Then the head coach leaned in and said, you really thought you were going to get an answer to that question? Right, you're exactly right. Sometimes you do have to ask, but it's gonna be a long shot for him to go, yep, Pesce in the lineup tomorrow.
Hey, if he said that, whoa, okay.
Or opposite. Nope, no shot. No way. It's probably gonna be a lot of like, well, maybe we'll let you know, and you'll see when they guys get out there for warm-ups.
Part of the gamesmanship, I guess, I could tell you what my lineup is right now.
Anything else you want to know?
No.
What about a set piece coming out of a face-off? What do you want to know? Brett Pesce back in practice. Obviously, good for Pesce.
Sure.
There were concerns when that injury first took place on how long it would affect him, and not just for he might be back if this postseason run continues for the Canes, but also for Pesce's ability to get paid. You're gonna want to be passing physicals and everything this offseason, and he's due to make a pretty penny. There's more than a couple Canes due to make a pretty penny, and being healthy going into a negotiation situation is important. So the fact that he's skating again, I do think is a big deal for him, and for what Pesce means to the Canes and what he has meant to the Canes, you got to root for what's best for him, right? You want him to get what he deserves, cash money. Cash rolls everything around me. Cream, get the money. Dollar bills, yo. Shout out to the Woo.
Now, we can't talk Wu-Tang Clan right now because we're from New York.
You're right.
We have banned Wu-Tang right now.
You are right. No more Mr. Nice Guy, Mr. Nice Watch.
Okay.
J. Cole. I had to throw.
That's fine.
I had to throw something out there to even it out. Wave around your shirt like a helicopter.
Yeah, Petey Pablo. That's fine.
It's so funny speaking rap lyrics. They just sound ridiculous coming from my voice just in a spoken tone. As number 5, let's go ahead and jump to number 4.
We are the 4 Horsemen. Woo!
PGA Championship tomorrow. Valhalla outside Louisville. one of golf's majors, one of the few times. We need to talk about that, actually. That sound effect you just heard, play one more time. That is the indistinguishable sound of a Happy Gilmore drive.
That it is.
Happy Gilmore greenlit for Happy Gilmore 2 on Netflix. A little nervous. But you know what else? Maybe it's a turn back the clock moment. Maybe it's the golf world's going. When did Happy Gilmore come out? Late 90s?
96, I think.
96? So you're saying news of Happy Gilmore would have come out right before Tiger Woods took the golf world by storm? See what's going on here, don't you? Don't you?
So you're saying Tiger Woods is going to win the PGA?
I'm saying Tiger Woods is going to play 3 more tournaments this year, the PGA, the U.S. Open, and the Open Championship. And if he's going to take the golf world by storm like he did around the last time Happy Gilmore was coming out, it's going to have to be this weekend, or probably more fun for us, Pinehurst for the U.S. Open, or the Open Championship over there in Europe. PGA Championship is set up, I believe, as a 3-horse race this year. Doesn't happen often. A lot of time, PGA has a massively large field. They have a lot of different golfers in it, which means usually you can get some unpredictable winners. I mean, it's a bit bold, but I'm going out to say one of 3 guys is going to win this. Rory McIlroy, Scotty Scheffler, Brooks Koepka. They've all won their last tournament that they played. They're all in good form. They all have statistics that say they should be the favorite. They all have storylines off the course that would make it exciting for all of us. They are 3 behemoths that are all playing exceptionally good golf going into a major championship. They all have shown they have the like intestinal fortitude. What do you call it? Nerves of steel to win majors, multiple. Rory, it's been a while, but he's got some things going on. I'm just telling you. Also, it's going to be a really fun weekend for sports if you can watch golf all day and then watch hockey at night.
Be pretty awesome if you're a golf fan.
If not, the NFL schedule came out. Speaking of, let's get to number 3.
1, 2, 3.
Netflix. You may say, wait a second, you just said NFL schedule. Why are you bringing Netflix into this?
Yes.
Netflix is finalizing a deal to air the NFL Christmas games. Now, you may say, wait a second, Christmas is on a Wednesday this year.
And you'd be correct.
Why are you talking about Christmas games? Also, a development. There will be 2 Christmas games. It is, what is it? Ravens, Texans, and then Steelers, Chiefs on Christmas. They will be on Netflix, which means the NFL will now have exclusive games on 4 different streaming services. In order to watch all the biggest games in the NFL this year, you need Netflix, you need Peacock, you need Amazon, you need ESPN+. Correct me if I'm wrong here.
Okay.
We're getting to the point without even that, like they're making it happen without even telling us. This is kind of pay-per-view football.
Yeah.
Like if you don't subscribe to Netflix, like if you're just somebody that, I don't know, you're not a big Orange is the New Black fan.
Not a Stranger Things guy.
Yeah, if that's just not your deal, that's fine. You have to pay per view for the Christmas Day NFL games. If you aren't a Prime member and your favorite team is playing on Thursday, you have to pay to view your favorite team watching that Thursday game. You have to subscribe to Prime. Same is true for the Peacock and the ESPN Plus games. It's kind of pay-per-view football right under our nose. What is stopping them? And this is where, people are going to say, don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. What is stopping them from finding another streaming platform and putting the Super Bowl there?
God, don't do that. Don't do that.
Like, it could be, let's make up a streaming service. If it's, we'll call it the 99.9 The Fan Streamer.
Okay.
And we just put the Super Bowl on it, and we had no other content. That's just pay-per-view.
It's all it is.
That's just pay-per-view. What if HBO wants to host the Super Bowl?
Then be on Max?
Be on Max. It'd be no different than like a Tyson fight used to be back in the day. You'd have to go get it from HBO.
That's right.
I'm nervous.
Okay, so here's something that also comes out as part of this. This comes from Front Office Sports. So Comcast has said that it will now package Peacock along with Netflix and Apple TV together to like have a single bundle of these streaming platforms called Stream Saver. So if you're like, oh, okay, I know I'm going to have Apple Plus. Okay, I know I'm going to maybe have Peacock. For example, like if you're a big soccer fan, that's perfect for you. It's like, oh, Apple has MLS. Peacock has a lot of English Premier League. And then if, okay, I get Netflix involved with that too. Okay, cool. I could save money on that. That could be a way to go. There was the first bundle of streaming services we saw with Warner Brothers Discovery, which is HBO Max, ESPN and Fox, which is I think people are calling Spulu because it's like Hulu for sports, Spulu. So there's that.
I like Spulu.
But you're also missing out on things from CBS and from NBC and all that as well. So it's like, okay, maybe you get that. So there's also obviously the Disney Plus, ESPN Plus, Hulu bundle that we already see as well. But there's also another one coming out where it's supposed to be Max and Disney Plus and Hulu, which in that case, if, like, for example, the NBA on TNT, which is part of Warner Brothers Discovery, if that's no longer going to be a thing moving forward, that might be less valuable to some people. But again, there's what's CBS and Paramount Plus. Like, where do they fit into all this stuff? They are making it more difficult for us as consumers to find the things that we want to watch. And we haven't even gotten to the local/regional sports network of this all. Like, for example, watching the Carolina Hurricanes. Do I still got to sign up for Bally? Is it going to be available on Amazon as part of a package deal in the future? Are you going to make it easier for me to watch my local team? Because I would love to watch Charlotte Hornet game, but I can't. It's stupid. It's all stupid.
I just laughed my way through that. Dennis, you did a great job explaining it. There was no way to do that.
Hope
in
everyone took notes.
More simple way. I hate how I hate, like, you did a good job with it. I hate that you had to do it.
Yes, I hate it too.
It's
I don't feel better.
Golly.
I got to shower now, I feel like.
That's so bad.
Gosh.
I remember when you used to come home from school and you'd grab the remote.
Wasn't that long ago.
And if the game was on, you put on the game.
Yep.
Now it's, where's that remote? No, the other remote. Do you have the Roku? Okay, you got the Roku. Did you pick the right app? No, you're in the wrong app. No, you're in, yes, that you can pick Hulu stuff inside of ESPN, but you can't pick. You got to, what's the login? Did you give the login to your friend? Because it says somebody logged in another state in my email right now.
Yeah, if you're for people like share passwords, good luck, because you know they're going to crack down on that.
That all is number 3. Let's get to number 2.
So depressing.
Can I cheer you up with some schnitzel and a nice Hefeweizen?
Oh. I don't know Hefeweizen, but guess, go on.
Panthers are playing in Germany.
Yes, they are. Pancakes and Panthers, baby.
But in addition, let's let Dennis get to the complicated part once again. Dennis is doing
the complication. Hey, Dennis, you go take
heavy
over.
lifting on the note-taking today. What games do we know for the Carolina Panthers schedule thus far?
All right, so the one that we know locked in stone, with the NFL's announced it, Week 10, Carolina Panthers are going to be playing in Germany against the New York Giants. No Brian Burns coming back to Bank of America Stadium this upcoming season. That's a story in and of itself. But apparently the Saints full schedule, it's out there. Tampa Bay Bucks full schedule, it's out there amongst a bunch of other teams. So week 1, it looks like the Panthers are going to be on the road at the New Orleans Saints. That's where they're going to kick off their season. Week 2, looks like it's going to be their home opener against the Arizona Cardinals. Week 3, on the road at Vegas. Next game that we know after that, Week 5 at Chicago, taking on the Bears. Battle of number 1 overall picks between Bryce Young and Caleb Williams. Week 8 at Denver. Week 9 home against New Orleans. Week 10, like we mentioned, on the road or in Germany against the Giants. Week 13 at home against Tampa Bay. So first time Dave Canales will face his former team. At Philadelphia, Week 14. At Tampa Bay, Week 17, so Canales going back to Tampa. And by just process of elimination, because they've already said the Saints twice, have already said the Tampa Bay Buccaneers twice, That means you're going to play Atlanta Week 18 because you have to play a divisional opponent Week 18, whether that game is at home or on the road. Do not know that yet, but I know they're playing the Falcons Week 18. So I just gave you 10 of the 17 games this season for a schedule release that's supposed to be set for tonight. Once again, why is it got to be so complicated?
Of those 10,
like Alanis Morissette right now.
No, what? That's Avril Lavigne.
Sure.
Alanis Morissette is ironic.
That too.
Avril Lavigne is complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Of those 10, which one are you circling? Which one's the must-watch?
Well, probably the one that we don't know yet. When the Chiefs coming into town? But of those 10 that I mentioned, the one in Germany. Are you kidding me? You'll get like a 9:30 a.m. kickoff. I'm telling you, pancakes, Panthers. Make it pancakes.
Is there a
buttermilk?
Is there a German breakfast food?
I'm sure there is.
There's got to be a sausage of some kind, a bratwurst.
Maybe.
I think you got to do the
Probably some
German. I think you got to
potatoes.
lean into the German thing. Pancakes are.
Yeah, but this is American football, so why wouldn't I do it?
But it's American football, and like you can do pancakes every weekend.
Yeah, and apparently scrambled eggs with ham's a thing.
Scrambled eggs with ham? That
Yeah.
sounds delicious.
I know, right?
Scrambled eggs with ham? That's
Apparently German potato pancakes.
Germany is claiming eggs and ham?
Yeah.
I feel like we got an equal. I feel like a lot of countries are going to be like
omelets, cool.
The drink of Germany, but water. It's like, I don't know if you can claim that. Breakfast food of Germany, eggs and ham. Better be something specific. At least call it like German ham. Like Canadians do that, Canadian bacon.
Canadian bacon.
Yeah, just saucer. Panthers are playing in Germany. Brian Burns will not be coming back to Carolina because the home game for the Panthers is in Germany and the Giants will be playing them. So no Brian Burns revenge game in Bank of America where he tries to show everybody what they could have had, and no Brian Burns reverse revenge game where Ike Ekwonu tries to show him that you weren't worth $30 million. None of that going on. That's number 2. Let's get to number 1. Avril Lavigne. That is Avril Lavigne, right? There it is. I don't know why I'm so proud of knowing that, but I feel very accomplished for having gotten that right.
Proud of you, sir.
Thank you. And yeah, there you go. Canes Rangers, number 1. Canes Rangers, Game 6 tomorrow. Conversation. Who is under more pressure? It's a question that you can ask. We kind of hashed it out for 2 seconds off air before everybody went, the Canes. If they lose, they go home. If the Rangers lose, they also go home, but that's for Game 7. It's a different beast. But here's the thing. Here's the question, or here's the part of the conversation that I think is interesting. Yes, the Canes are under more pressure. But the difference in pressure for the Canes over the last 3 games, meaning Game 4, Game 5, and tomorrow's Game 6, is negligible, right? There's no difference. They've been under the exact same amount of pressure since they went down 3-0. The Rangers are the ones dealing with something new. There's much more pressure on them now than there even was going into Game 5. Right? 3-2 is way, way, way shakier of a lead than 3-0. Right? Being down 0-3, being down 3-0, being down 3-1, being down 3-2, you're the same distance from elimination that whole time. So the Canes are kind of, right, to use the overused cliche, they're Bane right now. They're born into the darkness. Right? The Rangers are just getting there. They're just now getting to the point where they taste their own blood for real. They're just now getting to the point where the pressure is starting to heat up. The Canes have been there. I think that's an advantage for them. Rod Brindamore talked to the media. He talked about having home ice for Game 6 as all this develops.
Well, we've had for a long time here now. The emotion in this building is pretty special. Having said that, I don't think that a visiting team goes in here and necessarily goes, "Oh, we got to play them." I mean, it's not a veteran team like that. I don't think it's that much of an edge, but I think it certainly can definitely give us a boost, and depending on how the game's going, can definitely push our guys, and it has. I mean, I think we've had a pretty good record at home over the years, and they're a significant part of it.
Call to arms, fans. Kuznetsov said, our fans have been great. We need more. Game 6, this is your Game 7. Fans, Carolina Hurricanes fans, unless you have the time off and the means of travel and everything else to go watch a game at MSG, this is your Game 7. This is the last time you can impact the series. So show up and get loud, right? Count down those power plays. Get excited. Pound up against the glass.
NHL players have voted that the Carolina Hurricanes at PNC Arena, right up there with Vegas, is the most difficult places to play. Like, make it that.
Part of
like, make it that.
I completely. I mean, that is factual, and the fans are a big part of it. Also, the Canes are a big part of that. I want that to be clear. Like going to Vegas and going to Carolina, why would they be voted the hardest play? Well, over the last 5-6 years, they've been pretty good teams. So it's like, I don't like going to play there. It's like, well, do you not like going to play there, or do you not like going to play them? It's probably a little bit of both. So Canes fans, wave the towels, go nuts, go crazy. Help your team win a hockey game. Also, right now, Tim Donnelly for Miller Lending. Go to millerlending.com and help yourself potentially get a lower monthly rate on your mortgage, or have yourself set up for if and when rates drop, right? If you, like so many people out there that have had to move and you didn't get to choose your timing, right? We all wish we could have enough money to have 3 and 4 houses, right? And, I'll just stay in this one until rates drop, and then I'll buy this one. And we all don't have that flexibility, right? You need a place to live. You need to move for your job, your family, whatever the reason, upsize, downsize, whatever the rates are when you need a house, those are the rates you're going to have to lock in. The thing you can do, or the thing that can differentiate yourself from what everybody else does, is what you do after that. And that's where Miller Lending comes into play. If you locked in a high rate over the last year or two, Miller Lending and their no closing cost loan is ready for when those rates drop for you to pounce and get a lower monthly rate, right? A lower monthly payment. So I mean, that's the whole name of the game. Less money out of your pocket every month. Their no closing cost loan does it without even digging into your pocket for costs and fees. Go ahead and give them a call, 919-447-3377. Once again, that phone number, 919-447-3377, or you can visit them online at millerlending.com. As I told you earlier, that's millerlending.com. Miller Lending is an equal housing lender, and NMLS number 250-2146. We're going to take a break, but we need to get some numbers game contestants, that is. Numbers contestants doesn't make any sense. We have a pair of tickets to Nick Swartzen, Toilet Head. That's Nick Swartzen, the stand-up comedian. He'll be performing at Carolina Theater of Durham on Friday, November 8th. If you want to win the tickets, you got to win the numbers game. To do that, we need 2 contestants to call in right now. 919-860-5326. That's 919-860-5FAN and 5326. We'll take a break. When we come back. Numbers game. Don't go anywhere.
You're always close to the Canes with 99.9 The Fan.
Stahl works his way into the back and he scores! The captain, courageous in front, and he ties it at 1.
Boy, the mental toughness with Jordan Stahl.
Count on us to bring you every Canes game night and the latest Canes news from insider Adam Gold. Your official home for the Carolina Hurricanes. 99.9 The Fan, the Triangle Sports leader.
It's bow time. Listen up, because we've got some big news to share. You might want to sit down for this. Bow Sauce is back at Bojangles. If you think you missed it, just imagine how our Supremes must have felt. Because there's no better sauce to pair with our crispy golden chicken Supremes. They're already boldly seasoned to perfection, but add Bow Sauce and you can taste a truly legendary combination that will make you want to yell, it's bow time. So don't wait, grab a Supreme and dip into some Bow Sauce. It's bow time.
There's no time like bow time. Time to stop whatever you're doing to satisfy your craving for flavor with a Bojangles Chicken Supremes dinner. Choose a 3-piece or 4-piece Supremes dinner. Get your choice of fixin', a biscuit, and legendary iced tea. And don't forget the sauce for dipping, because Bow Sauce is back. That's right, Bow Sauce is back. Hungry for flavor and value and love the Bow Sauce? Then it's bow time.
Find what you love.
Love what you find at Total Wine and More. There's so much waiting for you. All kinds of beers and thousands of wines. Guides in the know and prices so low. It just might blow your mind. You're gonna find what you love and love what you find.
Only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly. Be 21.
Get ready. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale is coming to the State Fairgrounds May 17th through the 19th. The Car Scott building will be filled to the max with boats ready for immediate delivery featuring Suzuki outboards, shop center console, runabouts, deck boats, bass boats, pontoons, aluminum boats, and more, all under one roof. Boat Show only savings. Discounts up to $8,000, factory rebates, and special financing on site. The Chatley Boat Show and Sale May 17th through 19th at the Car Scott building on the State Fairgrounds featuring Suzuki outboards, free admission, and parking.
The chase for the cup is on, and if you're looking to light the lamp, nothing beats the action at DraftKings Sportsbook, one of America's top-rated sportsbook apps. DraftKings has you covered with same-game parlays, live betting, odds boosts, and so much more. This week, all North Carolina customers can place a pregame money line bet on Carolina, and if they lead by at least 2 goals at any time during the game, you win, even if they end up losing the game. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code TIMD, that's TIMD with no spaces. New customers bet $5 and get $200 in bonus bets instantly. That's code TIMD only on DraftKings. The crown is yours. Gambling problem? Call 877-185-543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov. 21 plus, North Carolina only. Bonus bets expire 168 hours after issuance. 1 early win per opted-in customer. Max bets limits apply. Token expires at the start of the game. See dkng.co/ice for wagering eligibility and terms.
Every so often in medicine, something comes along that is truly revolutionary.
Dr. Mitchell Shinecup, former orthopedic surgeon, now National Medical Director at QC Kinetics.
I believe this is one of those things.
Dr. Shinecup is talking about regenerative medicine, something he's practiced, researched, and written about for nearly 2 decades.
The old ways of dealing with joint pain, such as steroids and surgery, are no longer the best ways.
If you have pain from arthritis or injury, you owe it to yourself to learn more about this exciting option, using your own body's natural power to get lasting relief. And there's no better place to learn than QC Kinetics.
There is no one in this country today with more clinics, more satisfied patients, more advanced protocols, or more experience in using this exciting option to deliver life-changing results.
Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 919-400-5473. That's 919-400-5473. In Cary, Clayton, Raleigh, and Wake Forest, 919-400-5473.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan, numbers game time. The prize for today's edition of the numbers game: a pair of tickets to see Nick Swartzen, the stand-up comedian, Nick Swartzen Toilet Head, at Carolina Theater of Durham on Friday, November 8th. Do you think Nick Swartzen was thinking of all the promotion and everything when he named his tour Toilet Head? Just laughing at all the radio people and television people that were going to have to say, Nick Swartzen Toilet Head.
Yeah, I think he was.
Carolina Theater of Durham, Friday, November 8th. Well, Steve or Tom? We have Steve in Raleigh and Tom in Wake Forest. One of them is going to get a pair of tickets to Nick Swartzen Toilet Head.
Love it.
Steve, are you there? Steve?
I'm here.
All right, there you go. I thought you heard the toilet head conversation and just ran away. We have to ask a question to see who goes first. We'll pick our favorite answer. That person will get the opportunity to go first. The question is, give us your, or I guess more of a demand, give us your prediction for the Canes tomorrow in Game 6.
Well, I got money on the Canes, so let's go Canes plus 2 goals.
Canes plus 2. All right, so you're kind of a Canes fan for that one. We'll go to Tom in Wake Forest. Same question to you. Give us our prediction, or I should say your prediction, for the Canes game tomorrow.
Yeah, Canes win 4-1.
Dennis, which one are we going with?
He gave us a score.
All right.
Got to go with this guy that gave us a score.
Tom in Wake Forest, 4-1. Got you the opportunity to go first. Steve in Raleigh, sit on the line. You'll have your chance to play the game. Tom, are you ready to pick a category?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right, we have NFL All Crayola Team, all players with colors in their name. NFL 2010 NFL Draft, all players drafted in 2010. NBA current players only, and NHL Canes and Whalers only.
All right, let's do NFL 2010 draft.
All right, these are all players drafted in the 2010 draft. I will give you the player and the team. You give me the jersey number as quickly as you can. 30 seconds on the clock. You have one pass if you need it. Any last-second questions?
No, ready to go.
All right, your time will start when you hear the horn. Rob Gronkowski, New England Patriots.
87.
Correct. Antonio Brown, Pittsburgh Steelers.
84.
Correct. Demarius Thomas, Denver Broncos.
17.
Incorrect. Ryan Matthews, San Diego Chargers.
23.
Incorrect. Demarius Thomas, Denver Broncos.
Pass.
Cam Chancellor, Seattle Seahawks.
32.
Incorrect. Ryan Matthews, San Diego Chargers.
29.
Incorrect. Kind of in the right idea. It weren't bad guesses. You got Gronk with 87. You got Antonio Brown with 84. Demarius Thomas wore number 88 with the Broncos. Ryan Matthews, the running back, who was the first rounder in that 2010 draft with the Chargers, wore number 24. And Cam Chancellor with the Seahawks wore number 31. He was a fifth-round pick out of Virginia Tech. You did get two. Those two will give you a chance here. Sit on the line. We'll see if it holds up, all right?
All right, sounds good. Thanks.
Yep. That brings us to Steve in Raleigh. Steve, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here.
All right. The categories are NFL All Crayola Team, all players with colors in their name. NBA current
right
player.
there.
What'd you say?
You can stop right there. I'll take the NFL.
All right. You are straight to the point. I'll give you the team and the player. Give me the jersey number quickly as you can because there's 30 seconds on the clock. One pass if you need it. Any questions before we get started?
Let's go.
All right. You need 3 to win. And your time will start when you hear the horn. Tim Brown, Los Angeles Raiders.
Who?
Tim Brown, Los Angeles Raiders.
81.
Correct. Darryl Green, Washington Redskins.
28.
Correct. Raheem Blackshear, Carolina Panthers.
17.
Incorrect. Hassan Reddick, Philadelphia Eagles.
41.
Incorrect. Raheem Blackshear, Carolina Panthers.
Pass.
Tre'Davious White, Buffalo Bills.
23.
Incorrect. Hassan Reddick, Philadelphia Eagles.
42.
Close, but no cigar. Tim Brown, the Hall of Famer, 81. Darryl Green, the Hall of Famer, 28. Raheem Blackshear with the Panthers wore both numbers 20 and 3, so we would have accepted either. Hassan Reddick with the Eagles wore number 7. And Tre'Davious White, this is the one I thought you had a chance on. Tre'Davious White with the Bills wears number 27. You said a number in the 20s, but wasn't right. Unfortunately,
a cornerback.
Unfortunately, that's not enough for the win. Tie goes to who goes first, but hopefully you had some fun playing.
Enjoy Toilet Head.
Enjoy. There's no way I'm not going to laugh at that, and it's so sophomoric. Tom in Wake Forest, congratulations. You get to see Toilet Head.
All right, can't wait.
Pair of tickets to Nick Swartzen, Toilet Head, Carolina Theater of Durham on Friday, November 8th. Enjoy the concert.
Thank you. Appreciate
All right.
it.
Sit on the line. Dennis has some info he needs to get from you in order to make sure you get those tickets. We haven't had a 5 in a while. So I'm calling it. Tomorrow we're going to be out at PNC, by the way. So we'll be at PNC Arena. Maybe this is not a definite. Maybe we'll do a live numbers game. Maybe we'll do a live numbers game with people we see out there at PNC, maybe even some Kane stuff. I don't know. I'm just spitballing. But we need something to throw off the juju, right? We've had some bad aura in our numbers game here. Haven't had a 5 for 5 in a while. So maybe we shake it up tomorrow and do something out there at PNC Arena. By the way, if you're going to be at PNC Arena for the game, stop by and say hi, right? Everybody's going to be getting there early. It's a 7 o'clock tip, or puck drop, I should say. 7 o'clock kickoff. And we'll be out there from 3 to 6. We'll pass it straight to Adam Gold for Stormwatch. But if you're out there, come say hi. We can help you get registered, entered to win a signed Canes jersey. We want your first goal scorer predictions, which you can start sending at us at any point in time on Twitter at Donnelly Sports. If you send it in now, I'll make sure we register it, and you'll get your credit if you get it right tomorrow night. But tomorrow, Maybe we will do a live numbers game. We did that once before out at Carolina Ale House, I believe, and it was a good time. So maybe we'll do it out at PNC Arena with all Canes categories. I don't know. I'm just now making more work for the people that help us out behind the scenes here at the show, which is always interesting. As far as updates from earlier today for the Canes, just to dot our I's and cross our T's, Brett Pesce did skate today. He was at practice, and when I say skate, that's not off to the side. That's not in a pre-skate. He was skating as a part of practice, no non-contact jersey, full participant, but he was paired with Dylan Coghlan as kind of the extras. He was not paired with his old running mate, Brady Shea. That was still Tony D'Angelo. Don't expect to see Pesce out there on the ice tomorrow, but it is obviously good news for any potential future series if Pesce can be back and effective. So that's just keeping you updated there on the skating going on. A little bit of shifting, couple lines in the power play adjustments, but nothing to write home about. Looks like the Canes know what they are, and they're going to try to make it happen at home in Game 6 with the players they've been running with. Dennis has something for you.
Hey, Dennis Cox here for my friends over at Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. Check them out online, deepriversportingclays.com. Escape to the great outdoors at Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. You get to get outside. They have a beautiful, stunning 65-acre area that they offer more than just a world-class shooting experience. Did you know that at Deep River, you're spending time in nature that can significantly improve your mental and physical well-being? But also, studies show that being outdoors reduces cortisol levels, which is those raised when you're under stress, muscle tension, which is also a result of high cortisol levels, and strain on your cardiovascular system. So yeah, getting outdoors helps with all those things while also lowering your heart rate and your blood pressure. Regular visits to Deep River at Sporting Clays and Shooting School may even decrease your risk of heart disease. Plus, you'll boost your vitamin D because you're outside, which is essential to your healthy bones, blood vessels, and your immune function. Well, guess what? At Deep River, they provide that wonderful, healthy mental break from the demands of everyday life. And that's something that Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School, they've been doing that for over 3 decades, 35 years. Immerse yourself in nature, unleash your creativity, and enhance your problem-solving abilities while also just enjoying a good time outside, hitting some clay targets. It's just simply a blast. Experience the transformative power of the great outdoors at Deep River Sporting Clays and Shooting School. Plan your adventure today at deepriversportingclays.com. Again, deepriversportingclays.com, and discover the path of a healthier, happier you. And honestly, as someone who's been to Deep River multiple times, it's just a lot of fun. When every time I've left Deep River, it's like, man, that was a blast. Boosts my mood. It's a great time. deepriversportingclays.com.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. I argue for Pyotr Kochetkov in Game 6. Coming up next.
At Ram, all we do is trucks. And now during Ram season, all we do is offer great deals on our trucks, including Ram 2500 and Ram 3500 heavy-duty pickups. Or get a great deal and drive home the 2024 Ram 1500. It's the most luxurious Ram 1500 ever, based on standard and available features offered. Ram 1500 also has purpose-driven technology and advanced safety and security features for enhanced maneuverability. And right now during Ram season, it's the perfect time to get one. Hurry to your local Ram dealer today. Ram is a registered trademark.
Direct Auto Insurance is for uncompromisers, the people who refuse to make trade-offs in life. Like Kelly, when her old car insurance got so expensive that she couldn't afford to drive anymore, do you think she started carrying her groceries for miles? No, but she did find Direct Auto's savings that allowed her to drive instead of compromise. With savings of up to 25%, you too can stop compromising and keep driving. Get a quote today at directauto.com. Savings based on applied discounts and will vary. Terms apply. How you buy can affect price. National General Group, Winston-Salem.
A torn ACL, stress fracture, aching back, a hip that's had it, life on hold, and all you want is to get it back. Enter Wake Orthopedics. Our fellowship-trained orthopedists do it all. General, sports, pediatric, joint replacement, fractures, spine, prevention, advanced diagnostics, progressive treatments, minimally invasive procedures, surgeries, and more. Visit wakemed.org/wakeortho and get back your life.
Where'd y'all go last week?
Well, we've been watching our budget.
So no going out?
Oh yeah, we're going out, just hitting all the specials. First, we hit the House of Hops. That's Jerome's favorite spot. Big savings on Monday and Wednesdays. Mix and match craft beer and 25% off on to-go growlers. Oh, it's a great place to relax.
You know, the Mix has some good specials and they're across the street.
You have to check out their wine tastings once a month and their live music schedule, plus $5 draft beer on Thursdays. Then Saturday, it's salt and lime brunch, and Monday they have $5 margaritas.
Wait, what about Sharkies?
Oh, sweetie, you know Sharkies is special all the time.
So you're just going in a circle. House of Hops, Salt and Lime, the Mix, then Sharkies. House of Hops, Salt and Lime, the Mix, then Sharkies. Sounds like a vicious cycle.
Well, I wouldn't say it's a vicious cycle. More like a wonderful cycle.
Yeah, sounds like a cycle I need to be riding.
House of Hops, the Mix, Salt and Lime, and Sharkies. Definitely a cycle you should be riding. Hope to see you soon.
Dauntless Transmissions has been the trusted transmission shop in Raleigh for more than 27 years. The experts at Dauntless Transmission are dauntless when it comes to caring for your vehicle. Whether that means a total transmission rebuild, complex engine or brake service, or just a routine tune-up, your vehicle will be dauntless when they're done with it. Visit DauntlessTransmissions.com. Dauntless Transmissions, your local source for exceptional service.
Dauntless is currently looking for skilled auto technicians to join the Dauntless team. Visit DauntlessTransmissions.com/careers to apply.
Hey friends, Paul Ihander from 99.9 The Fan for FanDuel. It is playoff time. NHL, NBA, and baseball is in full swing. FanDuel is your place to bet on every game. Right now, new customers get $200 in bonus bets guaranteed when you bet your first $5. Just visit FanDuel.com/Paul. Paul with a capital P, and sign up. Then you can bet on everything from slap shots to slam dunks to home runs, all on an app that is safe, secure, and easy to use. So get started today. $200 in bonus bets, win or lose, when you place your first $5 bet. Visit FanDuel.com/Paul, P-A-U-L, and get started. FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. 21 plus and present in North Carolina. First online real money wager only. $10 deposit required. Bonus issued as non-withdrawable bonus bets that expire 7 days after receipt. Restrictions apply. See full terms at FanDuel.com/sportsbook. Gambling problem? Call 877-718-5543 or visit morethanagame.nc.gov.
Don't miss your chance to spring into deals at Lowe's. Right now, get 2 1.5-gallon annual hanging baskets for $16. Plus, save $50 on the Cobalt 24-volt string trimmer and leaf blower combo kit, now $149. Shop in-store and online today, because Lowe's knows spring. Lowe's knows home improvement. Offers valid through 5/15. Hanging basket offer in-store only. Actual plant size and selection varies by location. Excludes Alaska and Hawaii. While supplies last.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code MONTHFREE by May 31st. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
Ready to step into a healthy and active lifestyle? Come to the Good Feet store and experience the difference. Discover how a simple step can lead to a life of pain-free possibilities.
Carolina will win the draw. Oh, with a snapshot from the circle, saves Shesterkin. Slavin trying to get to it. That'll be knocked out. And now here comes Kreider in the Kane zone. Kochetkov! And Kreider goes spinning like a top. 30 seconds left. Svechnikov with it. Svechnikov drags. That's blocked by Lindgren.
The Drive with Tim Donnelly, 99.9 The Fan. If the Canes are thinking about winning the series, rather than just making it to Game 7, Pyotr Kochetkov should be the guy tomorrow in net. There you go. Once you play Freddie tonight, you can't go back to or tomorrow night. You can't go back to Kochetkov or Pochetkov, as I like to call him, on Saturday. That means you have Freddie playing so much. And, yeah, sure, he has an extra day off between Game 5 and Game 6, but not between Game 6 and Game 7. And we've seen him give up some softies, be a little lackadaisical, be a little leery of where the puck is. And by leery, I mean he loses it occasionally on the rebound. when he plays a bunch of consecutive games. Now, this is not a reaction to Game 5 because I thought he played really solid in Game 5. Wasn't tested much, but he was played solid. The only goal he gave up was on a 2-on-1, and it was terribly set up by the Canes power play, which everything was terribly set up by the Canes power play.
Yes, including the power play.
But I still think he should have made that save. Or at least made it more difficult on the Rangers to score. I don't have a ton of confidence simply exuding from him. I don't see it. So, let's take an even bigger look. I believe this. I don't think there was a game this postseason that was decided by the Carolina Hurricanes goalie. Right? I think for the most part, whoever's been in goal, whether it's Freddie or Kochetkov for the game that he was, they've done enough. I also acknowledge that the Rangers are going to be more desperate, and enough might not be enough. And looking at tomorrow and Saturday as a group, okay? Because last I checked, you don't get any consolation prizes for forcing a Game 7. So you should be thinking of how do we best set ourselves up to win the series. I don't see a huge difference in the way Kochetkov and Freddie are playing right now. I think Kochetkov in a really, really bad situation, hadn't played in a month, came in a very, very desperate situation, played pretty darn well during his only appearance thus far in the postseason. And I think Freddie, despite getting more and more fatigued, at times has played pretty darn well. I just don't see a huge difference. So if I don't see a huge difference, you play Kochetkov in Game 6, knowing you can go to Freddie in Game 7. If you go Freddie in Game 6, it's Freddie. And that's what I think they're going to do. By the way, today at practice, there was Freddie in the starter's crease. Kochetkov was on the ice down there at the other goal. Like, I firmly believe that Rod Brindamore and that coaching staff are going with Freddie till the wheels fall off. I don't disagree with Rod often. And I've said it before, and I'll beat you to the punch. He knows more about hockey. He's forgotten more about hockey than I'll ever know. Like, I understand those comments are coming. But I've studied Freddie pretty good this postseason, and watching him the last month of the year, I just don't see why you would expect this guy to become an Iron Man. Right? Because we were talking about it off air earlier today, and Dennis goes, well, Igor's doing the same thing. Very good point. First of all, and I don't mean this as disrespect, Freddie and Pyotr are neither Igor.
In terms of ability, no, but you're still physically taxing, mentally taxing, right? Isn't that the issue we're bringing up here?
No.
No?
Not physically taxing at all, mentally taxing.
Yeah, okay, well, still mentally taxing on Igor, right?
Except he's been playing every game. Freddie was alternating and playing the best hockey of his career, and then once he started playing every game, there's been a slow decline. Igor didn't take 3.5 months off in the middle of the season. Pyotr Kochetkov was the guy that grinded for the Canes. And I know that a lot of people that both support Freddie are also very appreciative of what Pyotr did during the regular
100%.
season. I'm just looking at this and saying, Freddie in Game 6 with the extra day's rest, I'm confident he's going to be solid, right? I'm not super confident he's not going to have a slip-up in Game 7 if they get there because he played in Game 6. So if you play Pyotr Kochetkov, who I think many would agree is at least replacement level of Freddie. Like, if he goes in there, he could do solid in Game 6.
In your case, some might say even better because he's more athletic, which I wouldn't disagree with that at all.
Actually, speaking of how he's not Igor, I've never seen the Stahl goal, the one that tied it up and changed everything. Tell me that's not a poke check from Kochetkov?
From Kochetkov,
yes, if he's 100%. In there. That's a scouting report thing. You're not coming across his face like that.
No, you're not.
But I mean, he and Freddie are different, right? I don't want Freddie out there.
They're different guys.
I don't want him out there poke checking just because somebody said that Pyotr would have. But I'm looking at this and thinking the best way to win Game 6 and Game 7 is probably to have a rested Freddie in Game 7 if you're not losing anything in Game 6. Right? And I don't want to go Freddie in Game 6 and then expect Piotr to play in Game 7, because then you're throwing a rookie into a Game 7 on the road without then it's a different beast. And I know the Game 6 at home is still a beast, but Game 7 on the road is a bigger beast. So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking I don't think it's going to happen. I think it should. And you're right. This is the whole. I don't want to have 20/20 hindsight. I don't want something to happen in Game 7 and turn around and go, I was worried about that, and have everybody go, well, you didn't say it. So this is me saying it. Freddie plays Game 6. I hope I'm wrong, right? I hope he plays lights out in both 6 and 7. If he plays in 6 and wins, I'm concerned about Game 7. For the mental fatigue of it all, because we've seen this guy play lights out when he gets to unplug every other game, and there's nothing more I want than him to be lights out in Game 7.
I think the extra day does help. Because remember, he didn't play in Game 3, so he had the back-to-back, Game 4, then day off, Game 5, then 2 days. All right, you just got to play 2 games over 3 days. You're rested, go do your thing. And if you're Rod, if you're the coaching staff, your only mindset is, I got to get to Game 7. I got to just get there. Who gives me the best chance to win the game? And if they think it's Freddie, roll with them.
See, I don't.
Simple as that. You have to get to 7 before you got to win 6. Can't think about 7. You got to think everything about 6.
You're implying that there's a big difference between Freddie and Piotr in Game 6.
If I'm Rod, if my guy that gives me the best chance to win Game 6 is Freddie, I'm rolling with Freddie.
Yes.
Simple as that.
I don't disagree with that. If you think that Freddie gives you a much better chance of winning Game 6,
then roll with
you roll with Freddie. I don't think that's true. I think it's much closer to 6 to 1, half dozen to the other for Game 6. Game 7 is where I want Freddie, because then I think experience comes into play, and I think so much more comes into play on the road for Game 7. But this is on the record. We have receipts. You can wave it in my face if it doesn't come true. But it's just a concern I have, and it's the goalie situation has been keeping me up at night for the entirety of the postseason.
Well, I think the thing is as well is that Piotr's played 1 game in the last month.
Mm-hmm. Played well, though.
I mean, yeah, he played well in a 3-2 overtime loss, but you're going to expect a guy who's only played 1 game in the last month, hey, go backstop in a must-win game. We've only played 1 game in the last month. Hey, go backstop us. We got to win this one. Must win. Win or go home. A guy who's only played 1 game in the last month, that's a tall task for Piotr if you're asking him to do that.
Yes, it is a massive tall task for Freddie. It's a tall task for Freddie. He's the one that lost the 2 that got everything started. And it's not an easy decision. It's why Rod gets paid the big bucks, or why hopefully one day he and ownership can come together on a big bucks contract for him. It's why he is who he is. I just the goalie situation keeps me up at night. Hopefully not tonight though. I'll be dreaming of NFL schedule releases.
mean like the half the schedule that's already out?
Well, side note, the social media teams better do better. I saw Buffalo released all of their opponents as if they were LeBron James. What connection does Buffalo have to LeBron James?
Nothing.
That could be a Cleveland thing. That could be an LA thing. That could be a Miami thing. It can't be a Buffalo thing. Doesn't make any sense to me. Do better, social media groups. We'll judge you in the morning. With that being said, Overdrive coming up next right here on 99.9 The Fan. We're going to talk about the pressure that's on the Rangers. It was a fun conversation earlier. Can they handle it? Stick around. That's coming up next on Overdrive right here on 99.9 The Fan.
Need more Stanley Cup chatter, Canes fans? Listen afternoons at 12:15 and 4:15 for our Cup check-in. Served up by Abbey Road Tavern and Grill. Adam Gold talks with hockey's best, past and present, bringing you the latest insight and analysis on the